everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will, I'm a D&D sex icon, and we're all here on time, and we're ready to play some games today, as it is the finale of The Great Conspiracy. So let's conspire together. Let's get into it. Let's do it to it. We have Jim fucking Davison with us tonight. Jim, how's it going tonight?
It's going well. It's going well. As usual, I get my best ideas 30 minutes before the game starts, and am trying to get them onto some sort of post-it note, a scrap of a napkin, maybe just some blood on the wall, so that it's permanent and written down, and not a fairy fart in my mind that will vanish eventually. I'm doing great, Will. It's glad to be here for this finale to The Great Conspiracy.
Absolutely. It feels like only weeks ago we started this, and yet here we are, ready to die with horrible mutations. At least, Jim, you get your ideas 30 minutes before the show, unlike me, I get my best ideas 30 minutes after the show, which tends to make things a little less good. But we have the rest of our players who will say, Boris Toddbringer, thank you for the donation. I'll read these out in a second here. Get these intros out of the way. We have Charlie with us tonight. Charlie, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm having a week of finales, and I have been looking forward to Warhammer, and I just got Molly's latest mutations, and I am so freaking excited. I've never felt so cool and so weird in my life. I am very excited to be here today. I'm fucking jealous. I tell you what, the only reason I turned up here today was so I could get some cool mutations like you guys, and be part of the team. So I'm ready to take any deal on the table.
You didn't realize that you missed when we were just going to start playing Akira last week.
Well, we have Pruitt back with us tonight. Pruitt, how's it going tonight, my friend?
Oh, it's going amazingly well. I can't wait to get back in here and finally put my axe between the eyes of that fuckwit Skaven that did what he did to my father. And then, he'll just start working on the rest of the Skaven in the world. I mean, there's quite a bit of them here, and I'm sure he can find their little holes and blow them all up one by one. So I can't wait to see continue this journey that Van has taken, this very dark journey.
Love it. And of course, we have Cherry back with us tonight. Cherry, how's it going?
It's going well. I'm very curious to see what happens to Mel, who has a gun and a knife and is following around all of our friends with their crazy magical powers and mutations and stuff, and if she can survive that. So
I'm looking forward to it. Well, I'm not looking forward to this though. Last but most least, we have Gareth with us tonight. Gareth, how's it going?
I try not to laugh or in any way look animated, as I seem to be gift more than anyone. I think you're like, look how funny this little man looks. That's every gift. It seems to be me. I'm really good.
It is a targeted campaign of harassment.
Yeah, that's it. I'm surprised you get me in one gift, to be honest. I don't need to split it across two. I'm really looking forward to it at the end of last season. Cherry, when you laugh that much, it's offensive. Sorry.
I wasn't prepared and I was thinking of it was not good timing.
Shut up, Jim. You're not allowed to laugh either. I took the hand of the Zechian Willy Wonka, me, Charlie, walking into the terrifying chaos chocolate factory that I'm headed towards. So we'll see how it goes.
Wow, that's deep. I like it. That's myself. I'll be playing Jerry, who's totally normal. Nothing weird about him yet. But I'm ready for either, as Chad is saying, either for my fists to become bricks or my bricks to become fists.
I just realized we're in a reality where Jerry is the normal one.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm just a normal dude.
I mean, if you've never been to Essex before, Jerry is pretty normal for Essex.
Honestly, like many of the people I grew up with, so there you go. But before we get into today's game, I'll remind you guys of a couple of things. The first of which is we're sponsored here today by fantasygrounds.com. Go check it out, download it on Steam for free. It's awesome. We love it. We use it for Warhammer and for all the other games here on the channel. So go check it out. WhalingGames.co.uk is up to 20% off the resale value. Tabletop board games, war games, minis. Get it in time for Christmas. And of course, tabletoploot.com, the go-to place to get all of your dice needs. Beautiful, sexy, lovely dice. Just thinking about them now. Let's be the half-mast. And on that note, so does this. If you haven't retweeted this tweet, go ahead and do so. 20 retweets, you guys get to decide something which happens next in our campaign. And of course, you can donate to a fellow game as well by giving players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and worse. As Boris Toddbringer has donated £18 and says, "Hi everyone, it's me, your old pal Toddy. I was off hunting Kazrak One-Eye in the Drakwold, and I heard you need some help. Everyone gets a crit success, even Jim, because I'm pretty sure he's the only good guy here. Happy fucking Festa, Toddy." Well, thank you, Toddy. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the dedication to remaining in character, as you do in all of your donations. But I will then hand over to Jim, all of the niceties out of the way. Jim, let's get weird with it, and let's get into tonight's episode of The Great Conspiracy.
All right. So, last week, our party found themselves at a crossroads as dimensions aligned and cosmic plans came to fruition. York found himself the, what do you call it? The vessel for a chaos spirit that was returning from the netherworld and seeking entrance into this one, as just so happens that a warp gate opened up underneath the city in a secret Skaven warp laboratory that was actually underneath the palace the entire time. So it was with this bit of information going on in the background, and as Middenheim erupts into riots and urban warfare as the basically mafia-led remnants of the militia do battle with the Skaven and foreign-staffed Guard and Knights Panther, fighting for the streets of Middenheim. Neighborhoods burned, earthquakes had destroyed portions of the city, and a great mob of anti-Sigmarite protesters had stormed the Sigmarite temple, slaying the Skaven and Sigmarite priests that they found inside, before moving on to assault the main gates of the palace. Meanwhile, the party was visited by a curious entity, a statuesque man, man is a loose word here, humanoid, android-esque figure, some 12 feet tall and with 6 or 7, it wasn't quite, it was never quite clear, golden eyes that radiated around his face, and offered them this, assist this entity in its plans, and it would put what you wanted within your reach. Some of the party, Mel, simply wanted escape from the prison that she had found herself in and reunion with her companions. Others chose more substantial rewards, as Van picked up weapons of war from the far future to do battle and wreak his vengeance. And Molly actually attempted to recruit the Chaos entity into her mob, which only caused more revolutionary fervor to stir through the neighborhood. And York, of course, found himself blessed with immense magical power, being able to control and manipulate all of the winds of magic at once. The party found themselves at the palace gates, leading the charge, breaking down the gates. And instead of storming the palace, you didn't miss that much, Cherry. Didn't miss that much. Breaking down into the gates, stealing into the secret research facility in which a warp gate had opened, and it was there that the Chaos entity asked York to travel with it to the warp gate beyond and visit its master. Meanwhile, Van and the rest of the party, Molly rapidly mutating into a chaos beast, assaulted the Skaven horde that were attempting to contain the warp explosions from their steampunk technology. I think that's where we left off. Does that sounds like it covers everything. So
That sounds about right.
that sounds about right. You'll recall that the warp gate was sort of like a black hole in reality at the far end of the cavern, and that halfway through the cavern where all this steampunk warp technology was set up, the entire thing begins to dissolve into a great void of nothing. And off of this black hole, seemingly in the far distance, a corona of polychromatic light, little bubbles sort of spawn and break off of it. And it's in one of those bubbles that we flash back to Jerry and everyone in the cavern. Skaven, player characters, Chaos Princes, and Chaos Sorcerers alike, as well as us, the players, get a flashback of Jerry, because the Chaos entity visited everyone at the same time. And as we cast back to earlier in the night, Van has just defeated his father, Mutant Ferris, with his mecha bear suit. There's a mob forming around Molly that's people from the apartment block and the like. And Jerry is gathered around his boys and just declared that he has taken on Big Gouda himself and is going to lead a coup of the Eastie Mafia. And it's in that moment that time stops and this statuesque golden-eyed creature steps in front of Jerry and assist me in my aspirations, and I will put whatever you wish within your grasp.
You fucking what, mate? What's going on? Oh shit, am I eye?
No. You see me as I truly am. The rest of the reality. Time is an illusion, Jerry. Think deeply now. I am speaking to each of your friends. If you assist me in my aspirations here, I will give you power and influence beyond imagination to achieve your own goals.
All right. So, who are you?
He sort of like looks around, and you can see Molly is just similar, just sort of like transfixed, but also frozen. I am a creature of serendipity, a confluence of many events. Chiefly, I am an agent of change. I am here to return home for the first time.
Alright. So, you're from here then, is you? You're a Middenheimer. You're an Eastie.
Yes, in a sense, I am an Eastie.
Alright. Should have said. So, Mr. Confluence, or whatever it is you call.
That will do.
My cousin's got a problem with that. Constant confluences. Anyway, you want me to help you with your something or other and get a jobby done. If I do this jobby for you, you give me stuff that I want.
It's very transactional. Yes.
Alright. Well, I'm not into the same kind of jobbies that you're going to get from Mole.
No, I have a different purpose for her.
Right, well, naturally. I mean, that's what you go to for. Alright then, so what is it you need me to do, mate? Vis-a-vis your confluences.
It just so happens that our goals align. I will assist you in pushing Edma over the edge. In return, you do what it is that you must do. Establish your foothold. Take what is yours.
Sounds
I
like a
simply
win-win.
reap the benefits.
You ain't reaping my benefits, mate. My benefits are state given, and I need them.
You misapprehend me then. They will be new benefits, Jerry.
New benefits. Alright. On a new scheme or something.
Yes.
Alright. Because I've got an house to look after, my bricks and stuff. The house is falling down, so if that comes my way, that'd be good. I mean, I'll be honest to you, Mr. Confluence. My aspirations and my own conflagrancies myself would lead me to want to rule this place. More than just my own gang, more than just Gouda. What kind of chopping block have we got here for running the old city? Because I figure you're gonna need someone such as myself to rule.
I can create such calamity that it provides an opportunity for a low-born man such as yourself to rise to a position of power over the city. You'll never achieve greatness through blood or family, but through your own fist, through your own cunning, atop the bodies of your enemies. That I can provide.
Alright. Well, you got yourself a deal then, mate, don't you?
Indeed.
Well, the others
He reaches out.
If the others aren't in, then that's going to be a problem, isn't it?
The others are in to a degree.
Alright. Fair enough. In that case, let's get to getting on.
And time seems to resume.
I get a while, magic as this happens. It's fair.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh boy. I take it back, that's high. Fuck. Doesn't seem like such a good idea no more. 9571. Holy shit. Racial bigotry flares up within a 100-mile radius for the next 1 week.
Oh, what's
Those
more,
fucking
Jerry?
Westies! Get him!
Nah, Jer, we're after the undies, remember?
Yeah.
Fuck 'em all!
Oh, perfect.
Get him!
All right. Racial bigotry. This is great. So, as the city
we do hate
descends
Skaven.
into chaos, right? As the city descends into chaos, the surrounding countryside, as well, launches into a series of violent attacks and the like. Well, this is bad news for Middenheim and its surrounding villages. Then, as time resumes, you see this figure, Jerry, is still nearby, and seems to be both close to you and also walking amongst this growing mob that's forming around Molly. At a certain point, it looks at you and again addresses Jerry. I have placed my blessing upon you, Gerhard. Simply do what you must. That is all I ask.
Alright, son. No problem.
And you just sort of, Jerry has a...
I'm rolling up a cigarette while this is
Jerry has a clarity of mind that, like, cuts through all the drugs. And is suddenly like, you see the whole thing kind of laid out for you, what you need to do, who you should talk to. This whole sort of scheme almost takes planted in your mind.
Alright. Yeah, I know what I've got to do, mate. What happened here, innit?
Boys are like, yeah. So
Right,
you got a
boys.
plan. Yeah.
I got a plan. I know what it is. It's all up in the air. I'm going to need you to do some stuff. We're going to take over this town.
We got
Exactly
you, boss.
what it is, yep. I will be illuminations about shortly. Jerry's got smart.
Jerry's got smarts. So where is Jerry headed then? Because
probably Big Gouda's place, because now he's confident that he's just going to walk in there and be the new boss.
All right.
Come on, boys, off to the Gouda house.
Yeah, your crew assembles around you as you make your way over to Big Gouda's. Back in the cavern, where explosions ripple through what's left of the actual subterranean research facility. Set us up here because we have to take care of some stuff. Molly, real quick, would you like to give us a description of what Molly looks like as you undergo a sort of spontaneous transformation?
I have a feeling we left last episode with her leaping into the air, which I think is a good place for this transformation. As she leapt into the air, she began developing the wolf face, which we knew about, and a few other things. From her rib cage sprout tentacles that number 1d6, which I forgot to roll. Roll now. 3. So she has 2 on one side and 1 on the other, because apparently being asymmetrical is her thing. Her feet her legs from the knee down resemble that of a bird's. Great taloned feet, and little kind of chicken feathers around the knees. Keep her knees warm. She also develops... Hold on, I've now lost the message. I closed the thing and lost the message. She also has developed an interesting skill, which is notable as she actually descends. And instead of falling with the normal rate of gravity, she actually glides slowly down, coming to hover, levitating above the ground. And then slowly she separates. And there are 2 Mollys, just floating there above the ground. Both of them, the small patches of skin that remain on her extended fingers with knives and upper arms, now gleam as if metallicized. She's part wolf, part bird, part iron, part tentacle, giant brain, horns, boob guns.
Boob guns.
Lest we forget.
It's the important part.
I'd almost
Throw that
forgotten.
in there right at the end. Oh yeah.
For some reason, I didn't have a memory of that.
Molly is now 2 terrifying monstrosities that have there's 2 fully realized and complete Molly chaos monsters.
And the best part, on the best part of every mutant, okay? I've got the levitating, I've got a big brain, I'm horny, I've got guns for boobs, I got wolf face, bird feet. I'm ready.
Are we sure this wasn't Slamish?
I am the embodiment of Rule 34.
Do you remember last
Yes.
season when there was that sex orgy pit? Are we
Vividly.
that sex orgy pit? Is that how this connects? Like,
It's gonna happen.
Oh, that was you guys.
Somebody's gonna burst in the door and set you guys on fire. All right. Basically, as those of you in the research area, Molly undergoes this transformation as she descends. Van, you were already leading the charge down into the floor. There are Skaven everywhere. I'd like to handle this in sort of loose initiative order, so we can go ahead and roll just to establish what order we're going to go in. But there's hordes of Skaven all around. They seem to be running in panic. Many of them are on fire as sort of green warp fire plays its way through the crowd. Let's go ahead and roll that initiative.
And we rolled this with our buff, Jim.
Yes, you'll roll this with Zinch's blessing. That is, every roll you make is plus 50%, as the god of chaos has blessed you. Plus 5 for the D10 rolls.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah. Woo! 15.
I'm only rolling once. I like to think the 2 Mollys are currently still synchronized.
Yeah,
For now.
let's just
Chaos may
for simplicity.
have a part later.
For simplicity, let's have it be that you both of your duplicates go at the same time. So I got myself kind of crap rolls. So it looks like we've got Molly is going to go. We're talking about Van. Van, so
I got an 18.
Plus 18. All right.
Yeah.
And then Mel plus 5. And then what's Mel's initiative modifier?
4.
4. All right. So that's going to be 11. So it's still better than me. Basically, it'd be Van, Molly, Mel, and then I will go with both my enemies and NPCs. And we'll have to do that sort of loose initiative order. And then Jerry, we'll intersperse to see what Jerry's up to as well. As we kind of deal with the fast action of the battle, the slow traversing of realities of York, and the coup. It'll be like Inception or Dunkirk or something. All right, Van, you're up.
So as last we left Van, he was mid-air, pistol in one hand, axe in the other, just going at it. And I'm just gonna say, like, the pistol is in his right hand, which is his main hand. It's what he knows the best, and the axe is in his left. And I say that just for pure metagaming and for shooting. So I think I have all my stuff ready to go. So a 35 minus 20% for the offhand. So it's 53. Okay, so I got like 7 levels of success with my one hand. So with the pistol, I got that. So I'm shooting at the Skaven. So that's going to be like 16, and then I add that, so that's 5, so that's 21. So that's like 22 damage from the pistol. Anybody, one Skaven within that for the blast takes that same amount of damage, as it just kind of a bullet rips through him and into the next guy. And then with the axe, it's minus, so that's going to be 5 levels of success on top of that. So that's 12, 13. 18 damage with the axe as I bring the axe down, landing next to him.
Attacking another Skaven?
No, does the bolter like finish off the Skaven?
Probably like 3 or 4 every time you attack, man.
Oh, well then, yeah, I'm just gonna hack horizontally when I land, just shoot, clear an area.
This is the kind of combat we're in right now. Your fucking bolt pistol shoots through like 3 of them before it explodes in a steampunk formula or some shit, you know? And then swing a power axe and take out 4 of them because they're just fur and leather, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well then, yeah, that's what I do. I'm gonna do a lot of horizontal slashing instead of vertical, so I can,
sure.
You know,
sure. We're mostly looking for success levels, but yeah. All right, so Van has cut a swath through this horde. Now, in this horde of Skaven, most of them are sort of like brown or dark brown furred. Many of them are wearing like leather smocks or what looks like maybe research stuff. They're not armed. They have like wrenches and torques and all these kind of like mechanical, what do you call them? Tools is the name for those things.
Mechanical device.
Those things that you use to work on machines.
But while he's doing this, he's still just mumbling, "I should kill them all. I've got to kill them all." And he's just like, this mantra is continuing.
Nice. Molly.
Molly is setting her phases to stun. No, she is gonna just do like two little shots.
All right.
From all 4 of her boobs, because there's now 2 of her. So that'd be a total of 4 shots. My skill is 68. All right, cool.
Mostly just looking for success levels for at this point.
Yeah. So 12 out of 68 would be what, 5 success levels?
Yeah.
So that is.
Let's count the boobs as a set.
Okay. That would be like 20 points of damage, if that helps.
Yes.
Alright, so that's 1 set of boobs.
Alright. Just so you don't have to make 4 attack rolls, you know?
Yeah, that's fine. That was 3 success levels, which will be 11.
All right.
I regret saying that.
So, 11 success levels. All right, yeah. It's been less like Van's, sort of like futuristic machine pistol that he's got. But you spit out the condensed warp stone that's in your blood as bullets. Yeah.
A little bolts of chaos.
Right. And and you see the impact on the Skaven, and two of them fall near where you're at. You can see warriors and others.
Armor's for. This is why they have the cutouts around boobs, so that women can deploy their guns. I get it now.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
Oh, now it makes sense. Now that you're on the other side.
Now I've got it. Yes, now I get it. And the two mollies just levitate and hover real menacingly in their half wolf, half chicken, half tentacle form.
You can make claw attacks if you're hovering, if you want. They're basically, it's like a hand weapon, right? But you have
one's near enough. But yeah, I did my shooting. I think that's enough for one go.
Yeah. Mel, your friends have done these things. Sure, go.
Do we want to do a corruption check? Because I feel like she's probably losing it a little bit after
I was about to make everybody here in just a second do corruption checks, but yes, let's go ahead and resolve that for Mel, because she's a bit less like dove into the deep end like the others.
Somehow. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a cool. That's cool. That's what it is. So if you have the cool skill plus your willpower.
Okay. 45. Oh boy. Yeah, somehow that didn't push her over the edge. Okay. Right. She'd probably swing with the knife if something was coming at her. Other than that, so she's taking it all in.
Okay. There are enemies rushing in, but so you don't break, but you're racking up corruption points at this point. What's your willpower bonus and your toughness bonus, real quick, for Mel?
Toughness is 40. Willpower is also 40.
Okay, so all right. I think right now you're sitting at 6 corruption points. So it'll be soon. All right, guys. So too long. You guys, up until now, we were pretty focused on the fact that everyone has sort of accepted these new gifts, but they came at a cost. And I would like everyone, in addition to the cool test that Mel just made, but Molly, Mel, and Van to make me another cool test. This is without Zinch's blessing. It is just your own ability to keep things under pressure.
Thank you for the whole year subscribed as well. Appreciate it, buddy.
Nice.
Let's see.
Not quite.
I mean, if they were individual, it wouldn't have been worth it. But seeing as it's a set, that changes, the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I somehow succeeded. I succeeded.
What?
I barely succeed. I accidentally rolled twice, but with my 58, that succeeds by 4 points.
Okay. Yeah. No, I do remember Van has really. Yeah. Okay.
He's really cool.
Yeah. All right. So Mel gets another corruption. Then.
Yep.
As just all becomes a bit too much. Two Skaven start rushing up, and it's just like, God damn it. But somehow Molly is fine with everything that's happened. Van as well. But just the presence. Go ahead for Molly.
Molly has just convinced herself that this is the avatar she needs to be to save the city from the infestation. That she will be the mighty Piper. That she has a wolf's head, so she's obviously blessed by Ulrich, who she is an extreme follower of. So yeah, she's good to go with her new reality. Both of them.
Nice. One last thing before I roll. I need another D100 from the three of you, as even just being near the warp gate has an impact. So you haven't gained any more insanity from the events that have happened, except for Mel. But just being near this thing is inimical. 49 from Molly, 26 from Mel. and then they're for 74. So 49, 26, 74, 49. Oh, Molly becomes a lonely spirit and is at -10 to any test when alone.
Good job, I've got other meat with me at all times.
Right. Mel develops a fearful concern.
A little bit.
And is at -10 willpower. Van develops a thrill hunter personality, which gives you +10 willpower but -10 initiative. Yeah. All right.
Sounds perfect.
We'll work these out here. 2 Skaven have rushed up on Mel. One of them looks like it's about to attack in melee. The other one looks like it's terrified and frightened, but is still assisting its friend. So I need us to make opposed weapon skill rolls. 2 degrees of success.
Wow.
Oh yeah. All right. What you get? No good. What's your weapon skill or your melee skill?
Where is it? 40. I have no
40.
extra points in anything melee because I'm all doctor.
Gotcha. Zinch's blessing does kick him though and turns that 40 into a 90, giving you looks like 2 degrees of success. I got 3, meaning that I hit you with 1. That is going to do 7 damage to location. Whatever that is, 23. What is location? Location 23 is Mel's left arm. So 7 damage to Mel's left arm as it slashes out at you with a curved saber. There's fighting going on all around. And Mel, you notice now that you can see 3 others, at least 3, that have entered in from another tunnel. It looks like a small halfling that just fired a pistol. And then there are 2 human women with her, one of them with what looks like a rather intricate musket, and then another one clad in like full armor with a great big 2-handed sword or something that are fighting. But they're sort of a ways away from you, still up on one of the top walkways. And but otherwise, you've got these 2 Skaven fighting you. The other one's just kind of like trying to distract you and make it easier for his friend to hit. And Van, you're surrounded by these creatures. And most of them seem to be scared shitless. They seem like workers or technicians or something like that. In the crowd, you can see something moving through the sea of vermin people. It's like these 2 diodes with arcing electricity between the 2 of them. And there's like the sound of pistons or something as the crowd begins to part, and a Skaven who seems to have like a wrought iron mechanical arm and claw that is powered by this sort of like green lightning generated by something on his back, launches himself at Van with a couple of Skaven in assistance. And this what was this guy's name? Tegquack Firecutter joins the fight. These are all genuine Skaven names. I got 5 degrees of success as his iron claw comes down on Van.
Alrighty. Let me roll right quick. Okay, weapon skill?
Yep.
Okay, so I got like 8 degrees of success. 9 degrees of success. No, my axe gives me a +1, so 10 degrees, 11 degrees.
We are trying to break Warhammer 4th edition here in the last couple of us here in the finale. All right, so yeah, you catch his claw as it comes down, not quite severing the mechanical bits of it, but keeping it from attacking you. There are 2 others, however, that are flanking. They look like they are clad in armor. They're wearing like looks like leather and plate, some sort of like heavy glaive that they're attempting to attack Van with. First one, that is a big nope, as I got 1 negative success level. And the other, that looks like 5 success levels.
Let's see here. Ooh, 80. Hang on. So yeah, it's 5 success levels for me.
All right. Basically, the glaive comes down on your right arm and does. It's going to do 8 damage to your right arm.
Okay. So I have 6, so I take 2.
Yeah. And Molly, all you really see is everything that's going on here. You just sort of see this as it happens. Nothing's really attacking you at this point, but you do see the people enter in through one of the other tunnels that led in here. And there are others behind them that have yet to enter the tunnel. York, you are walking through the void, like holding hands with this 6-winged parrot serpent demon thing. And you turn, both of you sort of turn and look back and see the whole field of calamity behind you that's in the cavern. And it turns and speaks to York. York, this new adversary here attempts to stop us. Show them your power. Join me on the other side.
I'll make it so. It shouldn't take long. And the others, do you have plans for them?
Yes. They are to be undisturbed. They each pull at strands that my master wishes to come to fruition. Our Master York.
I nod. I'll play nice. I'll play nice for now. I won't be long. And I kind of smile. I feel like I've hit my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of crack my shoulders, and I kind of strut back. Maybe kind of breaking into a bit of a run to head back.
All right. It's almost like the instant you think of moving back, you find yourself at anywhere in the cavern really that you want. The warp gate is behind you, but the cavern is just right there, and you can be anywhere in it that you want.
I will stand. I'll bring myself. You said there are big machines with electricity crackling off them.
Oh yeah, dozens of them.
Yeah, I will pull myself to right next to one of those, and as I kind of blink in, I'll reach up my hand and like suck down some of that electricity and divert it towards one of these creatures. I want it to be. I would deliberately pick one in the eye line of all my compatriots. I want them to see my power. I want them to know. So that's going to be... Oh, my Jesus. That went the wrong way. So that should be a 2. So that's like 5 success levels. That's going to be 15 damage to one particular rat. And he's also takes the blinded condition.
Okay. As the magic just like surges almost out of control the minute that you release it, and it's sort of what's meant to be this single target spell sort of arcs into a wide spray of green electricity that shoots through the rat band horde. You all see this as York just sort of like appears out of nowhere and unleashes a torrent of green lightning at them. All right. Is there anything else from York then?
I'll kind of smile at everyone. Do hurry. He's got plans for us. We can't sit here all day playing with these things. and that'll be my turn.
All right. Let's cut back to Jerry as Gouda's place isn't that far from where y'all were.
Yeah, pardon.
Only a couple blocks.
Yeah. I like gather more of a crowd behind me as we go. Anyone that I recognize, just sort of off the street, like, oh, you come with me. We're going off to Gouda's place. Time for a new administration. Time for a new leader.
Yeah, whatever you say, boss. Like, all this old place is burning down. We might as well have a strong leader in charge, someone that knows what's what. And you make your way there, and it's largely how you left it not that long ago. People coming and going. Seems like there's a big crowd gathered. Same guard at the door that you left off. Jerry, hey.
All right. Yeah, where's Gouda?
Gouda's out back. Something said not feeling so well, but he's out there helping some of the boys get armed up. There's a big mob forming outside the palace gates. I want to go join up with them.
Yeah. All right, I'll go see him.
Yeah. And you see it. It's the whole thing. He's the inside of the tavern is filled with all this sort of armaments and gear and everything. People are loading up and sort of getting ready to move out. And you see like Conrad still there helping to organize things. And as you catch his eye, Conrad motions towards the back and kind of gives you a nod.
Yeah, I mean, I've come with like a whole gang. I guess like I'm playing it off as though, he did tell me to go and get my people, so I guess I have.
Oh shit, Jerry, you brought so many people. Oh my god, like that's great. Like take some weapons, Jerry. Like
right, let's all arm ourselves now. Let's all take all the weapons now rather than later, and then we'll go see Gouda, not the other way around, because if we go to Gouda and then we need the weapons, then we'll be in a spot of trouble because we won't have the weapons on us. What we need. Fuck, I'm clever now.
I don't know what happened, Jerry. That's great.
All right, Sam. Let me elucidate you as to what's going to go on. Come with me, and I head with Gouda while we all arm ourselves and head like a militant mob to the street.
So you and your crew arm yourselves. You make your way through the last drop, and there's like a courtyard out back where they like slaughter pigs, shit like that. Sort of small, enclosed, but you can see that Gouda's back there. He's sitting in a chair, sort of like slumped, not really sitting up straight. He's a massive man anyway, both broad and tall, and usually like commands a room, but he just seems like slumped, and he's watching someone unload maybe like gunpowder or something in a cart.
How's it going, Gouda? I brought the boys as promised.
Oh, Jerry, do come over here and sit down for a minute. I'm very glad to excuse me. I have something is not sitting right with me this evening, but he sees the whole crew here.
Yeah, they're probably they know what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
But I give them a sort of look to hold off for a minute. I sit down next to him, and I'm like clutching the revolver like placed on my hip.
Well, I say, Jerry, that's very masterful of you. I spent quite a long time taking various poisons and tinctures and the like to build up a tolerance, but...
I'll tell you know. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. You don't feeling so good then?
No, Jerry. I'm staying long enough to congratulate you. I didn't see it coming, and I felt like I owed you a bit of congratulations, as it were, for your victory.
See, you know how this is going down, do you?
Oh yeah, I did. Saw it too late, but here we are.
Well, there you
Here
go,
we
Sam,
are.
because me and the boys thought it was time for a change of status, change of administration, you know, and no hard feelings. This way we don't have to do it our way, do we? You can just back off.
Well, that's nice and clean. So, well,
What are you going to do?
I plan on dying peacefully right here, if I may. Now, I can't speak for my men. They have the Fleischers in particular have a fierce loyalty to me, but I assume
Oh, how
that's
about-
all been accounted for.
You know how this is going to go, so last bit of handover, I guess, would be for you to tell them to stay loyal to me, or sign a bit of paper or something, you know. Last will and testament. Ed Maguda. I hereby declare Jerry is a fucking great guy.
Well, whatever I have left in me, I'm happy to oblige
Anyone here
you.
write?
You know.
Someone write me a last will for him.
Yeah, there's like one out of the entire crowd. Someone
Mm.
they can write. They draft up a thing.
Well, sorry to see you go, old man. But this is how it's got to be.
Yes, indeed, Jerry. Now, I appreciate it if you would have somebody escort me to my quarters and do whatever you need to do there. None of this public business. I don't want to make a spectacle of it. You see.
I mean, I could shoot you in the head if you want.
Well,
That's better than
I'll-
dying old in a bed, isn't it?
not necessarily a bed, just more, not quite so, well, with as
See, I
many
think
witnesses.
The best thing that you could do for us now, your old gang, to pass on in such a way as to prove my strength.
I thought you might say that, then, Jerry. Well, I tell you what, you do what you have to do, and I'll see you on the other side then.
Appreciate it, mate. I turn to the gang and say, this fucking cunt was gonna lead us into the grave. For me, I know what's going on. Clever Jerry's what they call me now. Or Jerry the Brick. Either of those will do. And I see a glorious future for us, which involves fucking up everyone else for the most part. So, vis-a-vis, out with the old, in with the new, and I love my pistol. Fuck 'em up, I say, as I pull the trigger. You can clap
He
now.
keels over like a sack of potatoes, hitting the table on the way down.
Sorry, old man. Right, there's something going on at the palace, and we need a palace, I think, lads, don't we?
Oh yeah, boss. You need a palace. This place right here is a real. It's not befitting someone of your cunning, boss.
Right. Alright. It's not even a fucking... Actually, I don't know what's smaller than a palace. Not even a fucking small palace. I want a big one. And I point up to
Like a
the
mansion.
hill.
You mean
Yeah,
like a townhouse, maybe?
No. Well, yes, actually. Well, yeah, no, you're right, yeah. This ain't even a fucking mansion. We need a fucking palace. And I point towards it. That one. Let's go get her, sons.
All right. Jerry's crew now enlarged.
And like Barbosa leading his undead soldiers underneath the water. We take a walk. We take a walk to the palace, and we're gonna perform a palace coup.
All right, excellent. Back underneath the palace, Well, we're not doing immediate round around. Some time has passed. Fighting has occurred, and the like. Van, you're up. This creature has certainly. You've traded a couple of exchanges with this cyborg sort of engineer Skaven here. But it is your turn.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna kind of point the bolter kind of at its legs and try to take its legs out as I come horizontal with the axe to try to chop its head off. And so let's see what happens. Holy shit. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's like 12 success levels, I think. So that's 20, 24, like 27 damage with the bolter. And then with the axe, that's flipped, so that's 40. Extra success level on top of that. So yeah, that's like 8 success levels plus 8, so that's 16. Which ends up being 20 damage with the axe.
Right, with all of its attendant abilities. So yeah, I mean, once you get, once Van recovers from the initial shock of this thing charging out of the crowd, get your bearings about you and retaliate. How do you take this guy apart? Is the question.
Oh, how I take him apart? I mean, the whole point of the bolter at the ground was to break his root, to destroy his foundation, get him off balance, so maybe an arm gets a little bit higher, and I take him right underneath one like in the armpit, and just go straight up and decapitate him, including that arm and all the accompanying machinery attached to it, and it just kind of goes flying into a group of other Skaven. And then I find my favorite cat that they obviously killed, and I wear it as a stole. As a trophy of my winnings.
He had like a rack of cats, the best ones that were from the bounties of the last few days.
This takes years of practice.
Right, so Van now finds himself in this in a much thinned crowd of Skaven. Still 2 warriors facing Van, but he's dispatched this Tegcac or Teg can't even do it. Tegcac firecutter. How about Molly?
One Molly would like to go do her fire trick on the tunnel where more are coming in, just to kind of keep them back. And then the other Molly is going to take out the ones that are on Mel, because Mel is Molly's bestie. It's Melly and Molly, Molly and Melly, and so Molly is going to go and deal with that. So I'll do a consume alcohol for my fire breathing.
Oh boy.
Oh, hang on. Plus 50. No, plus 30. Okay. That's a fail.
Oh no.
Even with your plus 50?
Well, it's plus 30 because I got minus 20 from being diseased. Or infected or whatever it is.
That's right. Based on everything, you still have all of these diseases afflicting you. Yes.
Yeah. However, my righteous fury against the Skaven attacking Mel, just like I growl and I launch myself at it like teeth and claws and tentacles, and just rip it apart with my dagger fingers and.
Oh yeah. Oh geez, yeah. I got like 4 negative success levels to fight. So this is the one that struck Mel with the saber last time.
Yes, that one, please. I think I got like 2 levels of success. So that'd be like 6 damage, I guess. All
right, so yeah, you've come in and sort of shred it. It backs off and is seems to be like threatened as you sort of like appear out of nowhere and whip your tentacles and your knife hands about, flaying at it. And then as you breathe fire on the group of, you're talking about the halfling and the 2 human women and the like.
Yeah, she just sees people coming in, and that's not a good sign. They could be Skaven. You don't know. These things are tricksy.
They're very tricksy, and the woman in armor The woman in armor like screams something about a chaos fiend and charges at Molly. Mel, it is your turn.
I think she'd attempt to bandage the arm with some gauze from her jacket.
Okay.
And then I think Van's the closest to her. I think she'd elbow him with her good arm and be like, "Who the fuck are those people up there, Van? It's halfling and shit. What the fuck do you think they're doing here? Are they a part of this, or are they here to help?"
And he looks up, and who are they attacking specifically?
It looks like since they've shown up, they're trying to fight their way along the upper walkways to the warp gate, and it looks like they are ignoring the Skaven and are focused entirely on the demon prince that's making its way towards the warp gate. They're really only fighting Skaven that get in their way.
Okay.
I'm Molly now.
And now Molly has gotten in their way.
Oh. Well.
He's
going to swing his pistol and point it at them then, because he does remember who Molly is, and they're attacking Molly then. They are the enemy. Must kill them all. Must destroy them all. And he goes back into his mantra after one moment of lucidity.
Fair enough.
Okay. So anything from Mel?
She'd point her gun in that direction just to see if they're going to pay attention to it, but I don't think she's going to shoot it yet. She's saving that yet.
Okay.
Just stands at Van's back.
Okay. So you sort of like have a pistol out in case somebody gets close. Gotcha. All right.
You do see a wound on Van's shoulder.
Oh yeah.
I can attempt to. Yeah, let's attempt to patch Van up mid-fight. Why not?
Okay. Well, there's like a big space that's gathered around Van as he's like killed like 9 or 10 of them plus a big one. Yeah. As like I said, the Skaven horde has noticeably thinned out, and most of the ones that seem to be non-combatants or engineers or something have fled through the tunnels. Now there are three tunnels that lead into this. There was the one that you came in, which led from the Under Palace, and then these other two. And it's thinned out. There's still some Skaven sort of like flitting and darting between the machinery and trying to use it as cover, but there's no longer a big, great mass of them anymore. And even the two that were fighting you, Van, with the cyborg engineer, have disappeared. They ran somewhere in the crowd. However, that does not mean there's not a threat. As Molly, the Molly who went to help Mel, is targeted by an attack, and all right, I need. Actually, I don't need anything from you. I'm going to make an attack, and I'll let you know what happens. And it appears as though 3 deep green throwing stars, looks like they're made of warp stone, appear to fly out of one of the shadows that dominate the room. You can't really see what's in that shadow, but 3 of them fly out. One of them misses, but 2 of them hit Molly, and they they ignore all armor. And
what about iron skin? Because that's technically not armor, right?
It's like it is. It's just armor you can't take off. Like it cuts right. It's like it cuts right through the armor skin. And it's going to be you take 1 damage to location 82 for that's going to be 7 damage, and the other one is going to be 4 damage.
Location. I didn't know what those locations are. Okay. Left leg, and what was the other one?
25.
And right arm. Hey, that's my stabbing arm.
It's your stabbing arm. Yes, but that attack hits the weapons seem to dissolve as they hit you as well.
Yeah, I'd like to absorb them in. But also, that will bring Molly to critical wounds.
Oh,
She does not have
okay.
a lot of woundy life.
No.
Mm-mm.
All right. We'll roll on that real quick. And then there's currently no one attacking Van. There's a lull in the combat down where Van is. And it appears as though the were 3 and are now 5 Middenheimers, you take it, are attacking. Actually, they're attacking other Molly because they're like, you're in the way, and we got to get out of here. So we'll roll the critical for Molly number 1 in just a minute, but Molly number 2 needs to make me a melee test.
Okay.
4 degrees of success.
69, which would be... my skill goes up to 72, so that's just a flat success.
Flat success.
See
All
you.
right. So that lowers it to 3 for myself. And so at location 83 on Molly number 2, it's going to be 7 damage.
What have you got against my chicken legs, Jim?
I don't know. Nothing. Do I need to make another another critical?
How much damage was it?
7.
No, because my toughness
All right.
bonus removes 2 points of that, so...
All right. I will get that critical to you in just a second.
Yeah.
All right, York. It is your turn.
York is just casually leaning up against this generator. He's got his he's reached into his pocket, he's got his tarot cards out, and he's kind of slowly shuffling them and just turning them over and looking at the top one, and he tuts at it for a second and kind of changes his mind about where he wants it to be. So he opens up the deck and puts the card back in. Who's most hurt? Is it Molly or is it Van at the moment?
Well, one of Molly is taking critical wounds, and then the other one just got a sword attack to the leg as well. Both of them,
On the
both Molly's
critically-
actually gonna hurt.
On the critically wounded Molly, I'm going to cast Regenerate, which gives her the Regenerate creature trait. So it's not, I think, that success levels is going to change. It just kind of happens.
Gotcha.
And then I kind of go back to looking at these cards and surveying around. Can I see anything else going on this? Have I got a clearer view because I'm a little bit up higher? Okay,
Yes,
do
so
me to
you
do a
can see
perception
the,
test, maybe.
You can see it all. It's pretty clear from your vantage point. You can see 5 figures racing along one of the upper walkways towards the warp gate. They are almost to the point where reality separates and begins to dissolve the cavern. Most of the Skaven have fled through the tunnel to the what you would know to be the north tunnel. And then there are still some enemies down in amongst the machinery that look like they're stalking and fighting the rest of your friends.
I'm going to just try and see what these people are up to running towards the warp gate. It's not somewhere I want them to go particularly or mess with. So I'll start moving. I kind of want to avoid any direct combat, but I'm still just thumbing through these cards and kind of strolling through. I'm not paying particularly attention, so I could well be jumped on if they're hidden pretty well.
Okay. All right. So you heal up Molly number 1, who, yes, otherwise may have had a ruptured tendon and would have otherwise had to amputate that limb, as that crit was quite severe on Molly's left leg there. But healed up in part from York's magic, who has moved to sort of get in the path of the ones from the surface. Yes, sort of like just keep an eye on them, but not necessarily stop them.
If they start really looking like they're going to break, because I need to get back through this gate I've got a very important business meeting through this gate, so I don't want them to fuck it up and stop it, but I just want to see what they think they can do.
Okay. Gary. You're making your way through the city. There, as you and your crew come upon the square of marshals, which is just before the palace gates. You see it has been the scene of a tremendous urban battle. There's some sort of makeshift gallows that was on fire. Many of the buildings nearby are burned down. So many bodies in the streets.
Okay, now what happened in him?
Should.
Well, looks like the palace is ripe for the taking, boys. Let's see what the fuck's going on in there. And if there are any of those rat fuckers, we kill them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You've probably actually been fighting them all the way here. They're all over the
We're
city.
just slaying as we go. Any more rat fuckers? Kill him some more. Keep doing what we've been doing vis-a-vis Skaven.
Yeah. Got it. And the crew begins to fan out and march towards the gate. As you approach it, you see that one of the doors of the gates has been sort of like a corner section of it has been lopped off, and then both of them have been broken in. There's like scorch marks and dead bodies all in front of the palace gate, and you can hear fighting coming from inside the palace itself as well.
Okay, then probably heads with everyone towards the sound from inside the palace. He's most interested in like looting the shit out of it and killing anyone inside, including any like nobles that he would come across.
Sure.
He's happy to have executed at this point. It's sort of Russian Revolution time in terms of royalty. It's like, well, you don't have all of the things that kept you in power anymore, so
There you go. Welcome. As you move through, you can tell that whatever battle that started in the Square of Marshals continued through here, through the palace gates. There are bodies everywhere. Bodies of what Jerry would know to be Knights Panther, which are like the palace guard. Bodies of the standing army, bodies of the militia, bodies of laborers and the like. It looks like there was a massive fight, as well as numerous Skaven bodies amongst the palace defenders.
Alright, looks like Skaven got most of them, so be on the lookout. Find out where they are, then fuck them up. Just get the fuck out of our city, and then we'll be the kings.
You move into the palace.
Jerry thinks back to that. Yeah, Jerry thinks back to the time that he was like, we'll be king of the wizards, York. And he's like, and look out for any magic users as well. You find them, kill them.
Kill those magic users. Right. So Jerry and his crew then move in to begin looting, and you encounter pockets of resistance, but these are soldiers who have been fighting for the last hour or so. Their ammunition's depleted, they're wounded, whereas you have a big crew of fresh and well-equipped gangsters with you. So yes, you move through the palace, looting and finishing off any resistance as you see it. Beneath the palace, you guys are... I need two things from everyone that's in the cavern. Another coolness test to avoid the corruption of the portal.
Ooh, I'm at plus 10
That's a
willpower.
fail for Molly.
Okay, fail for Molly.
We don't get a bonus on this, right?
Correct. No bonus on this one.
Yeah, that's a fail
yeah.
for me.
That's a huge success for Van.
All right, so Van continues
Keeping
to
it together somehow.
Mel keeps it together right on the edge. Molly, you've got another corruption point, but I thought that Molly was past her limit for corruption, yes?
Yes.
You were starting to get, yeah. All right, so I
I
need
just keep mutating.
I need a second D100 roll from Molly. Actually, I need it for both of you. At this point on, you are separate and complete entities.
Oh, right. Both of me. I got it. Molly 1, which is the Molly with Melly, passes. Molly 2 fails.
Okay. And what was Molly 2's D100 roll?
Oh, right. 47.
So we've got a suspicious mind is what we've got. So that's -5 to initiative and -5 to intelligence, as Molly 2's mind begins to generate into suspicion and paranoia.
You're giving me a headache. They're trying to burrow in my brain.
You seem to be fighting some sort of Ulrich and Templar or something that is shouting holy words at you, and
You're on the wrong
attempting
side,
to.
you fools! It's all a conspiracy! The bougies, they've gotten to you! Molly 2 is off and she's ranting and raving, and Molly 1 is in a lot of pain as she finds out she is not immortal and getting significantly stabbed.
Yes. All right, so that's sort of.
I failed mine as well.
You were
full
failed
corruption as well. I got 14 on the test after my failed. Is that just straight up mutation, or is that?
These are for mental. So if you failed it, you get a point of corruption. What are your corruption points at?
I think we said I went full. I think
you were full.
When I went
yes.
demigod, I went full.
In that case, York is plagued by chaotic dreams, and for the first 2 hours of every day will have the fatigued condition, as your dreams are haunted by visions of the chaos realms, which you are about to cross over into. And then, so that sets us up here. Some time has passed, not quite exactly the next round, a couple minutes. Van, you can tell that there are enemies that are stalking and hiding in the ruined machinery of this place, but that otherwise no one has approached you. Shadows have deepened, however.
Shadows have deepened, but I did see those, whoever they are, up on the upper level attacking Molly. So he's just going to swing his bolter around and just kind of like let off a burst up there trying to hit them.
All right. Give me that roll.
Okay, so 58, and I need a 105, so that's 40, 110. So it's gonna be 6 degrees of success.
Mm-hmm. Are you attacking like the walkway they're on, or like trying to target a specific individual?
Yeah, no. Actually, yeah. If they can't like walk down here, let's see if I can just bring them down a little quicker. So yeah, just kind of like shooting the underside of the walkway with these grenades, and then it went through the gate like butter. So yeah, that's like that's like 6 degrees of success, I think.
All right. Okay, here we go. Rolling real quick.
14. Hang on. 22. So yeah, that's 22 damage.
All right. As you spray the walkway with your bolt pistol, it looks as though the halfling who is otherwise in the lead nimbly sort of like rolls forward and stays on the walkway. Molly number 2, the Ulrican Templar that you're fighting, tumbles over the edge and down towards the research floor. And then one of the other human woman manages to grab a hold of the ledge and avoid falling into the floor. But the other 2 mercenaries that are with them also go tumbling. So 2 of them are still up on the walkway. 3 of them are down on the ground. And that's anything else from Van?
No, that's it. And does he see York, where York is, like in relation to the gate?
Yes. So yeah, like York's not exactly hiding. You're just sort of
pretty nonchalant. I'm just walking.
Yeah.
And then, so basically Van's going to start making his way towards York while he's like got his gun trained up on these people coming down.
Okay. That sounds good. Molly.
Molly 2, currently suspicious and ranting, wants to take out the still standing enemy. There's another female human, I think, in front of her.
Yes.
And she's gonna boob gun her. Because I'm levitating.
Yes.
So I figure that gives me a little bit of range. So... Ooh, that'd be a miss.
Good miss. Yeah.
Go off at different angles.
Right. Even at this range, the the explosions that are going off in the factory, throwing off your aim. But however, being shot at is still not exactly a pleasant experience. But this particular warrior seems to kept her cool as a chaos demon floats around and shoots boob guns at her. Mel, or sorry, no, that's Molly's turn. Molly 2, or it's the second Molly's turn.
Molly 1, yeah. Molly 1 by Melly.
Molly 1.
Is there still a Skaven up, right? I'm just gonna kill it.
They're
Kill
really
it real hard.
non-visible.
Non-visible?
They're really
Thank God.
non-visible, yeah. Like I said, the shadows have deepened here. You catch occasional glimpses of something moving between the ruined machinery, but it seems as though you're being like stalked, as it were.
Mel, where are we going? What are we doing?
I don't fucking know. I'm just following all of you assholes around. What about other you? Should I patch you up? Patch it up? Do you want to check whatever the fuck's over there? I don't have enough alcohol for this.
I'll check on me. Hang on. And she reaches in and she pulls out her hip flask, hands it over, and Molly 1 floats over to Molly 2.
And
Go
Mel
see what's going on.
If I understand
what's going on
regeneration
here,
right, if I understand regeneration right, Molly 1 has regained 7 hit points or 7 wounds
Nice.
from the spell.
I am
so there you go.
battle ready as I join my sister, aka me, waiting for Jerry to turn up with his fucking brick. We got things to do. York, what is it we're doing again? Van? The two Mollys, like, in synchronization, turn around confused.
I think we're killing everything.
All right. Mel, it is your turn.
The things rolling around behind the machinery, would I be able to take a better look at that?
You can go investigate if you like.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Mhm.
You want to...
So Molly, two Mollys are floating above. Yeah, give me a perception. As you're sort of like trying to suss out what's going on and look about, you find yourself alone as Van has wandered in the other direction and Molly has levitated off. Take that perception.
And a little bit of fail.
Oh yeah, even with the big bonus to your skill.
Actually, no, that would make it barely a success.
Gotcha. So as you are poking around and looking, you see out of the shadows rush the Skaven who was there in the Wizards Guild with you. Not, I don't know, earlier yesterday, was it maybe? I don't remember. And it's sort of like rushed out at you. You see one hand, it's got sort of like warp daggers of some kind, and in the other, it is tracing the runes of a spell at you. And it is headed right for Mel, snarl on its snout. So that was just a move and a thing. Do you want to do anything?
I think that would make her fire the gun.
Okay.
It's his weapon, so I don't know what the things on it.
It's your ballistic skill, your BS.
I got no BS.
You got no BS. You can go ahead and roll it, and you get the Zinch's blessing bonus. That's an 11. That's an 11, which makes it a crit.
All right.
As well as, what's your ballistic skill?
I don't have ballistics at all.
No, not. It should be on your characteristics, like WS, BS, and then.
Right. A 40. Just the basic 40 for WS.
All right. So it's a 40 plus 8 then. Okay. And we'll go ahead and roll this critical here as you have as you hit it. Stepping out, you see this creature rushing at you. Go ahead and give me another D100 roll. As you shoot it, dealing a critical, but it is like literally right on top of you and will make an attack unless it like instantly dies.
Okay.
All right, 34. Here we go. We've got a. Actually, While your shot has not killed it, it seems to have like rattled it, and it spins and sprawls down on the ground, prone just a couple of feet away from you, and is stunned as your pistol shot has momentarily stunned it. Doesn't make its attack, and instead, what happens is that there's a shouting from the walkway as the halfling is just like screaming. Everybody could make me a perception test to sort of make out what they're saying. York, I think you might be close enough as this halfling is just like shouting to get to the gate and take down that sorcerer. There's a bit of hesitancy in his voice, but also urgency and desperation. Van can hear him.
I could hear that as well.
I hear him just fine.
Yeah, as can the Mollies. Cherry's off to Mel's doing her own thing.
It's a little jarbled, but I can hear something's happening, just not what it is.
Gotcha. Below on the research floor, you can see those who fell are getting up and attempting to make their way there, although they are staggered and everything. And then those that are still up on the walkway are attempting to move and not fall. York, it is your turn. What do you do?
I'll increase my pace a little bit. Is there anything in my way between the gate and where I am now along this walkway?
Nothing. Just the void of nothingness.
Yeah, so I'll sprint up to the gate. As I'm walking, I'll kind of look down towards Van. See, you always were beneath me. And I'll kind of have a wry smile as I'm increasing my pace.
Oh.
Know who's in control here, Van. Know your place. And I will sprint towards and what I'll do, I will cast blinding light between where these things are, these humans, and the wall, the gate. Sorry, just to kind of blinds them and slows them down a little bit.
Gotcha.
So it's just a blinding flash, and they. Yeah, no. Again, it's I can roll for success levels just in case it goes really badly. Oh, it still takes it to a 31. That'd still happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right.
So it's just a click and this light. It starts off as just a little flash, and then it's kind of it goes bright, and everyone can just see like the shadow of the last thing that was in front of them, in front of their eyes, just for a second. I think it would only really affect the ones close to it, but it's a bit of a flashbang.
Yeah. As you sort of set off this flash, there's a momentary look of horror on the halfling's face as you those of you who are sort of have a bigger picture of the cavern can see that the Chaos Prince that you've been assisting this entire time is near the warp gate, turns around and gestures out with one sort of oversized claw and talon to York. York, now is the time. Return to me and step forward into the other realm. Take your place alongside our master. It sort of like is paused there for a moment, gesturing back to York.
Yeah, I will kind of fully embrace this. And kind of as I'm throwing through, I'm going to flick down just a tarot card towards Van. And I'm going to transfer one of my nat ones and make his next roll a nat one.
Nice.
And then I'm going to take the hand. I'm powerful, bitch. And then I will take this creature's hand.
All right. You turn around, and it's not so far away from you. Its hand is just right there. And as you take it, York is transported, in a literal sense, between the veil of reality between this world and the chaos realms that live beyond, and there's some sort of cavernous room, it seems, that you're in. There's something below you, difficult to see, ever shifting, ever moving, like a roiling foam or a thundercloud or something constantly forming and reforming itself. And in the distance, through sort of a hazy and flashing light, you can see an immense bulk of something with writhing forms sort of comprised in it. And it's like a mountain in the distance that seems to draw you in. That's where York finds himself now. Behind you is a sort of a coruscating kaleidoscopic portal that leads back into the cavern, but you can tell that it is quickly closing, and won't have much time left to make use of the warp gate. Jerry, there's a minor quake that shakes the palace as your men are looting and engaging in several skirmishes, and you can see what you think to be maybe a noble of some kind. Someone's dragging someone through the halls. There's kicking and screaming and shouting coming from like there's a room and then a hall next to it, and you can hear this sort of commotion going on.
I head towards the commotion. What we got over here then? Hello.
You see there are 3 men standing in front of you, one of whom is dressed in fine armor and otherwise has like a sash on and like a lace collar around the armor that's very etched and inlaid with mottos and images and the like, and they are it's with 2 bodyguards that are Knights Panther, right? They've got the panther pelt sort of draped across their shoulder, and they seem to be dragging a carpet of some kind. There is clearly some sort of difficulty in getting it around the halls, but you can hear something from inside. There's a protest or a scream, very weak, but it's coming from inside this giant rolled up carpet.
I like stop and turn my head. Oi! What the fuck are you doing?
They seem surprised to see you. And the gentleman in the fine armor with the lace collar and the satin sash, just like, what are you doing here, rabble? Bow before your Graf. I am Heinrich Todbringer, your rightful ruler.
So, I never heard of you. It's awkward.
Insolence.
What the fuck are you doing here, mate?
I am dispatching with some business. There's rabble through all the palace. Dispatch this peasant. And he, you see, he goes to draw a. What's that?
So you can fucking try it. It's like, I draw a brick. I draw my brick. I'm like, on guard, you cunt.
There are 3 of them that draw their courtly swords, and there's something is moving in this carpet that's been that's bound up at both ends, and they square off. Now, are you alone, Jerry, or do you have your boys with you?
I've got some guys with me. I probably don't walk anywhere without a couple of, lackeys.
Yeah. All right.
I probably don't match for these.
So it's like white marble halls, like paintings of the Todbringer line down either side. Half-lit candelabras and the like. All of it has been disturbed with blood stains and pistol shots on the walls, and they square off against Jerry. All right, here. Let's do this simple. What's your initiative score?
Oh fuck! I mean 3.
Yeah, something in the 3s. Sounds about right.
+5.
Let's just roll off.
Nope.
Yeah. So Heinrich makes a lunge at Todd and attempts to attack. So we will make our opposed rolls here. I got like less than 1 degree of success, but it's still a success.
This against me, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I am dead even, so also no.
That's that. Plus you've got your bonus, which gives you 5, so that would be 5 success levels.
Oh, I'll just +5 because I'm fucking lit now.
Yeah. So Perry is thrust with a brick.
I put a brick up, and it's like.
You're a pistol shot go off as one of your boys fires at one of the bodyguards, and a brawl breaks out here in the palace grounds as tremors rock the palace. Back in the cavern, the warp gate appears to be closing. York has disappeared. Chaos Prince has disappeared. And there now seems to be just these Middenheimers in here. Like I said, one of them seems to be a Templar. The halfling appears distraught, but also isn't like freaking out or anything like that. You're in here with them, and some other kind of Skaven, which may or may not be stalking you. Van, you're up.
Well, okay, this is interesting here. I didn't want to break the momentum from earlier, but Van is a dwarf, and I have magic resistance, so I can roll willpower against this spell that York tried to throw at me, so that it doesn't work. So that would be an opposed test against the spell itself, whatever you rolled on the spell.
Do you want me to just roll?
Yeah,
well,
whatever it is.
An 81 to roll the spell,
Okay.
yeah.
39.
Oh, yeah, 39.
Oh shit! So even I only got like 3 degrees of success.
Ah.
So in that case, the spell does work, and I'm trying to take a shot at this halfling, who's been attacking my friends, and I feel the magic of York's spell like throw me off. And just this anger boils up in Van, and he turns around and looks at that warp gate that York just went through, and just takes off running, screaming, "Got to kill them all! Got to kill them all!" As now York is now an enemy to Van, because he was trying to help him out, but you're gonna fuck me over, bro.
All right.
Bro. Gangster
You
man.
called down the thunder. Well, now you've got it.
Right.
Look at that one skinny little
as you
kid
get
who
closer
pokes the bully.
As you get closer to it, you feel like it's not even like you're running. You're just like willing yourself towards it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can make it. If all you do is move, you can make it before the warp gate will close.
Yeah. So I just go diving through the warp gate like...
Seeing you do that, a couple of the Templars and the like follow and attempt to follow Van and York and the like through the warp gate, including the Ulrican Templar who fell, and we'll see how that works. There are people coming through the warp gate, York. Molly, you're up.
I want to shoot Molly too, the one that was over with the Ulrican and the crew originally. She wants to shoot that Ulrican traitor in the back. That is a bougie conspirator that needs to be put down. She is a false faith. And I'd like to use my nat 20 on that, please.
Gotcha. All right.
Because I just noticed I have one.
Go for it.
And a roll for location. Location 11.
Ooh.
And with an 11, yes. Okay.
Oh,
No,
almost.
it's not ahead. It's a left
Left
arm,
arm.
nearly ahead. So that would be, I guess, 2 shots. 38 plus 68 is my goal number.
Mhm.
How many? So 6 degrees of success.
6 degrees success. All right. And
Plus
then
8, I think, is the base damage. So that's 14.
Mhm.
And it's
So it hits. It hurts. And go ahead and give me the critical D100 roll. She takes the damage plus the crit.
52. Right in the middle.
Right in the middle there. Actually, that's let's see. Ow.
That feeling when you're shooting your own character in the back.
Right, as Molly shoots this suspiciously familiar Ulrican Templar in the back, you see the left arm hangs limp and useless at her side, and the two-handed sword falls down. She's like dragging it behind her. Eventually goes towards a smaller sword that she can use with only one hand. And as she gets a broken bone from the shot. All right. That was
and
Molly.
Then Molly 1. Are any of these people near to Molly 1? She's up by Molly 2, up by where that road was.
Yep. Yes. There are several nearby, either within shot distance, or you could move and attack them.
Where's the halfling? Where's that little one? The little sneaky bugger. Where's that one gone?
Still up on the upper walkway and trying to make his way towards the warp gate.
I'll go for the halfling, and I'll just do... I'm just gonna, like, savage it with claws. I think her
Alright.
boobs are still reloading. 23.
It's always good to reload your
That's
boobs.
5 degrees, I think. That's...
And that's like 2 negative success levels.
Okay, so that goes up to 7.
Yep.
Plus 4 is 11. 11
Yep.
stabby slashy damage.
All right, that's at location 32. It's 23, which becomes 32. That is a right arm, which is currently holding some sort of ornate pistol. And you say 11 damage to that arm? All right. You move over and begin to slash and slice away at this halfling's arm. Mel, it is
And
your
instinct,
turn.
The 2 mollies are just gonna like, "Arrgh!" in the
Nice.
name of Ulrich.
In the name of Ulrich. Mel, this creature is getting up from being stunned. But you currently, basically, it's at your mercy.
She's gonna go for the stab. That's all she's got. She doesn't know how to reload the gun very well. But apparently, she should have picked up a pistol sooner. Every time I've shot, it's gone really well.
Nice. All right.
There you go.
With all your bonuses, even a 96 is going to hit. Yeah. We're really just seeing if you get if it's a especially bad hit or the like. So okay.
She hits it, but it doesn't.
Yeah. So Mel's just over there like stabbing this like semi-conscious Skaven ninja sorcerer as it reels from a pistol shot the last time. And I'll go ahead and have Mel give me one final cool test here for the round to see what else happens.
35. Yeah, still good.
All right.
She
Still
likes
managing to keep
stabbing
the roll.
things.
Right. It does, however, recover and is not quite dead and it gets into a knife fight with you, basically, and breaks out some warp blades. The first is going to be, that's like 6 degrees of success on Mel.
Going down fast.
I need an opposed roll. Oof. So is that, yeah. What does that put Mel at?
Which stat am I giving you? Sorry.
Melee. Is melee skill
Melee?
plus weapon skill. Yep.
So just straight up 40. I don't know the stats on the knife.
Gotcha. All right. I think even with the 40, with the bonus, I barely edge out and slip past Mel's defenses and tremendous luck that is protecting her to stab for, that's going to be, wow, these are warp blades. That's going to be 9 damage, and I need you to make me an endurance roll. That's 9 damage to your location 80. I think it's your left leg.
Yes, left leg.
All right. And then that's 49 for endurance. Does that pass your endurance?
Yeah, my endurance is at 40. Yeah.
All right. Then in that case, That is one more corruption point as the warp blade begins to take its toll on Mel's body.
Okay, I'm at 8.
I believe we're at Mel's max there. Oh,
yeah.
All right. If you get, we'll see what happens here in a minute. But I don't really have any more enemies. There are 2 figures approaching through the warp gate, York, that you can see. It looks like one of them is a human warrior. She has just been shot in the left arm, and then another one is Van, who seems to be running as fast as he can for the warp gate. York, it is your turn.
So, how far are we from our destination? Can I see this thing that I'm being brought towards?
I mean, the laws of physical reality are irrelevant in a place like this, so distance is really a relative term for York. It seems like it's a long way away, but you're not quite sure how you move here because your feet aren't exactly doing what they should be doing.
I just stop in my tracks.
Okay.
What are you doing here, Van? This is my blessing. This is my time.
I was here to help you.
You think you're helping me, Van?
Had to fuck that up. You see Van like leveling his gun at York.
This isn't a good idea, Van. They watch everything we're doing.
Yes.
This isn't our fate. I merely changed yours a little bit. I've never liked you, Van. Ever since the day I've met you, I've thought you're the biggest piece of shit that I've ever come across. I've met men that wanted to slit my throat. I've met women that wanted to stab me in the back. Yet you're a leech. You've lived the same life for the last 10 years of your fucking meager existence. You've lived off other people's generosity and you've done nothing to deserve it. I've had to crawl through shit on my hands and knees every fucking day of my life, and to see you getting everything you wanted, doing absolutely nothing. No wonder your fucking father is dead. He died being fucking disgusted at what you become. He was probably ashamed the day he left his seed in your whore of a mother.
Oh my.
You know what you remind me of, York? The shit I walk through every day on the way to school. That's wants to be more, but can't be anything but shit on someone else's boot. While I'm about to scrape you off mine, you little bitch. 'Cause you look around and you have everything that you've ever wanted, but you're so petty and pathetic, you still hang on to mortal grievances. Now come here. It's time to wipe you out of existence.
Can I use, I throw down another card. This Templar, I imagine, is trying to attack Van. Can I throw one of these down to make sure she misses her attack on him? And, I don't care what she's doing. She's just fucking missing because we've got to settle this in this fucking void.
She seems to be if you don't do anything threatening to her, she seems more intent of just getting through here, and really seems more intent on the prince than anything else. Yeah.
Oh no, Van was gonna cut her head off as he ran by. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Just
my gun is aimed here, but it was gonna be like a casual, just backhand, just. It's more just so York sees that. Yeah.
For effect.
Yeah.
For the effect. All right. Okay. So then,
John Wick looking at the asshole in the spa and shooting the guy in the head without looking. It's like that. Or
that.
just yeah.
For effect. So in that case, no, she's not there.
Oh.
We do this now then.
like it was always meant to be.
Van will like put York will put up his finger for 1 second, and he'll draw a random card from his tarot deck, and kind of look at it from a second, and smile, and he'll turn and face it towards Van, and it's just death. Okay.
All right, you'll roll off initiative.
Do you remember when we were all friends and we all hung out in the pub?
We were
It was a
never
jolly
friends,
nice
Charlie.
time.
We were friends, not him.
Wow!
Wow! I remember like 30
what's
minutes
the
ago, I was like, man, this is like a nice and chill finale. We're just like, just mutants are having a good time together, and now it's like, you little bitch.
My
right,
bonus
so,
is a 3, and we got the same. What's your bonus, Van?
Mine's a total of 12.
Okay.
Oh, so your
mine's a
total
of 8.
okay. That's with the
No,
blessing?
so I would be 13 with my blessing.
Okay. So York gets the drop.
Oh, this is awkward because I can literally cast any spell.
But he's got like, what's your willpower to resist spells, man?
Well, it is 112
It's a lot.
with the bonus. So
Okay, let's start with this then. I'm going to cast Illusion, and I'm going to turn myself. Hopefully, I'm going to like become the vision of his father to him.
Mm.
So that's a 23. So that's going to be 7 levels of success.
Yes.
I'm gonna use my nat 20 to resist this spell. So that's 12 levels of success for me.
Okay, so what was the spell going to do to him?
It's not on him. It's it's going to take root in his mind, and he's going to see me as his father.
I see. Okay. Yeah, he tries to throw up some sort of illusion at you, make you see something that's not really there.
I've already killed him. And he just continues running, like he's just running on nothing at you.
I mean, by now you're through the warp gate. Y'all are in like the chaos realms of wherever it is that you are. You sort of like find yourself in this seems to be at the moment a featureless plane, but also feels like you're in a looming room, like a I don't know, my words escape me from it, like a cavernous sort of room. Something is beneath you, roiling and foaming, and giving off flashes of light, which illuminate those shapes in the distance, which occasionally move.
Okay.
And that's sort of where you are in terms of like movement. If we were at a grid, I'd probably switch your base movement with like your willpower score or something like that. That's sort of how it would work mechanically. You're sort of like will yourself to a place.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where York is, and you're trying to cast a spell at you, Vanstern.
Yeah. So I'm trying to will myself to be right next to York, as I'm just like flying towards him. So, am I there?
In melee range with York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm dual wielding, so on the way in, pistol and then axe.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make those rolls. Is there anything York can do?
I'm gonna wag my finger at the pistol, and I'm gonna nat one it.
Okay.
Give him one more of my nat ones.
All right. So you got a nat one on the pistol.
Is that something I can resist? Because it's magic?
It's not. It's different. It's not like a spell. It's just sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You sort of like. I'll clue Van in on something right in a minute. But let's go ahead and play this out. So the first one, nat ones, and then the next one is your axe attack. Yeah.
Okay. So you just want me to roll again for the axe attack?
Or you got a 27 for that one?
Okay. So it's 27. So that is Yeah, that's like 8 degrees of success.
Mm-hmm. All right, I need York to oppose that then.
So that's a melee, is it?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be about 6 levels of success for me.
Okay. In that case, yeah, your axe, Van's axe comes in.
I'm sorry.
What's up?
It was 10 degrees for me. I forgot to add 2 things.
10 for Van, 6 for York. That's 4 left over. As
4 left
these
over.
2. Go
12,
ahead and
so that's
calculate the
19
damage.
It's 19 damage.
It's 19 damage. We're gonna pause there.
That puts me into negative, but there you go.
As Van's sort of axe comes down on York, and York takes the hit. Back in reality, Molly, you can hear a scuffle between the Mel and something else over near the ruined machinery, but there's sort of just like cries out from the Templars that are there. Some of them are severely wounded. Molly's fighting another one, but at this point, they either seem very wounded from their fall, or wounded from other attacks that have come at them. What does Molly do in the immediate aftermath of the Wargate closing?
Molly, one who was up by the road, is actually going to float down to by the walk gate to try and keep anyone else from going through. She doesn't know what's going on, but we're here to support each other, and my 2 teammates were through there. And then Molly 2 is going to go and help Mel.
Okay. So you see Mel locked in a knife fight with the Skaven sorcerer.
She just like floats over, just really eerie and weird looking with her levitate.
Mm-hmm.
And just like what she would like to do is do like the knife through the back of the neck, through the bone, through the spine, the viscera, just come out the front and just get it that way.
Yes. Go ahead and give me a roll for that. We'll do this the same sort of like fast and loose way.
So do I get a charge bonus to that? Because I floated real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
You're sort
that
of
will
attacking.
be
It's sort of otherwise distracted.
62 plus 22. 1 degree of success.
Mm-hmm. You've stabbed him. It's sort of like as you're working your knives into his back and through his neck and into his skull, it attempts to sort of fight you off, but between that and Mel, whose turn it is next, it seems to be overmatched. Molly has shown up and is starting to stab this thing in the back, trying to like work her knife fingers in through its back and neck and skull. It's your turn.
Is trying to get into her skull now?
Well, sorry, Molly is attacking your enemy.
Right.
Yeah.
Mel's gonna give it another stab, try to help her out at this point.
Okay. It's another crit.
Okay.
So we'll just play this. How do you want Mel to kill this sort of Skaven sorcerer who Molly's got pinned down? You've added to your advantage. You have it at your mercy.
She's a doctor, so she's gonna be smart and like go for the neck, kind of cut a main artery.
All right. You open up this creature's neck with the assistance of Molly, and it sort of quickly collapses through the floor, and the shadows in the room immediately begin to recede, and the room brightens a bit. You can see that 2 of the Templars have not gotten up from their fall, that they have crawled and are making sort of trying to heal themselves and seek shelter near one of the walls. And those that were still on the upper story walkway are trying to get back down to them. For all, we're basically out of combat here in terms of what's happened down in these caverns. I'd like to return to what's going on in the palace before getting back to these realms of chaos.
Bricks.
Bricks and swords.
Wally's gonna be so proud of me if I can kill the fucking Hombringer. That's probably not what's on Jerry's mind now. Okay, so I think he swung at me last.
Yeah, they initiated the duel. There's been a couple of exchanges of attacks here as we get back to Jerry. Okay,
so I'm fighting Heinrich Todbringer. He's got like a massive two-handed sword or something like that?
Not necessarily. He seems like he's got more of a... Like, he wasn't dressed for a fight. He's got partial armor on, but he's also wearing, like, courtly gear. And his sword is more... it's not like Rune Fang. He's not wielding, like, the sword of the Todbringers. He seems to be wielding, like, a court sword.
Okay, and the thing that was in the carpet, I don't know what's in the carpet yet, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try and brick him to death. Classic Jerry tactic. With this man swinging his sword at me, I bring down my demon brick, which has all sorts of fucking awful powers of returning to me and burning people alive. And I'm going to swing at him. And that's his... Let's see, what these roll? All my fancy grounds has been with. Yes, I rolled a 62. So plus my 5 degrees of success is 4.
Yeah, I got -2 for myself, so that brings it to 6. And that's location 26. As you bring the brick down, I think it's another arm, the right arm this time. As you bring your brick down on his dueling arm with his sword, and then so 6 plus whatever the damage is for the brick, which is magical. Yes.
Yeah, so which is 5, I think, because it's normally 4, but plus 1 for magic, so 11.
11. All right. Smashing it down to his arm, he seems to like draw back from that. One of his bodyguards is hard pressed by some of your boys, and the sound of fighting has drawn more of Jerry's men as they kind of like step out to support you and egg you on, and they kind of form like a circle around you and Heinrich, and every time he gets delivered a hit, they kind of like kick him and push him around. This duel develops like this very quickly, and he makes one last attempt to take out Jerry. I don't think I got 1 degree of or 1 negative success level to hit Jerry.
I got like 10 degrees of success. I just sort of bat him away with the brick, and let him fall onto the ground, and say, "Give up, you twat."
He seems desperate and enraged at his failure to take out Jerry, and he looks around at all the rest of the ruffians and rabble that have invaded his palace, and he just takes this sort of haughty, "Don't care what you do to me, you rabble. You're worth nothing. My life will always be worth more than yours, even as you deface and degrade my home."
Carpet? What's he got on that carpet? Open up.
Yeah, no, do not. And he tries to stop your men.
I kick him in the teeth with this with my boot. Shut up!
And the muffled cries get louder and louder as the carpet is unrolled to reveal a middle-aged woman in fine, noble dress. She seems really familiar to Jerry.
I'll look at her closer.
Yeah. It's Katerina Todbringer, Boris's daughter and half-sister to Heinrich here.
All right.
Get me out of this thing.
What the hell are you doing in that carpet, love?
Are you my rescuers?
Yeah, mate. I am, as it happens. Jerry. Clever Jerry, they call me. Jerry the Brick.
She spits at her half-brother, Heinrich.
I'm surprised.
He's trying to take me away. What is...
Oh, that's a bit menacing, isn't it?
Yes.
It's sinister.
thank you again. What has become of my home? And she just sort of seems bewildered at the chaos around you.
I'm not the most loquacious man, but I would say it's fucked.
Looking at her face, you see that she's someone who's like just at the end of her rope. She looks around, a look of just desperation and horror as she realizes that her rescuers are these townies who've broken into the palace. Well, you are quite resourceful, I think. If you can get me out of this alive, whatever you want is yours.
Well, here's the thing, though. Use that one of them nobles, innit? To this place here. Your dad is Topbringer, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Overthrown by this brute here.
Yeah. Like I reckon it should be your lot who's are in charge, you know? You're like the real bringers of the child, aren't you?
Oh, yes. We've ruled the Middenheim for centuries.
You married?
Was to be betrothed, or be married. I am betrothed, but
Oh, forget about him now.
intrigue has called that off.
Yeah, call that shit off. See, I reckon it would be best for me to have a legitimate claim to this old palace, what I know I have. You know?
Yes.
And I ain't married either, really. You know, in a legal sense, I am. In a personal sense, in this sense, I'm not.
Oh, well, the law is
As far as the church is
malleable
concerned, I definitely am. But as far as everyone else is concerned, I'm not so worried about it, you know?
Yes, a true son of Middenheim, then. Yes.
Yeah, so, let's have it on, then let's have it off. And, what do you say? We'll rule this place together. Mostly me, you know. But I need kids. I mean, I do already have kids in a legal sense, I do. As far as the church is concerned, I already do have kids. As far as I'm concerned, I don't.
I think that you're overcomplicating things. And she draws
That
closer
isn't
to
that
Jerry.
isn't like me.
She draws closer to Jerry and deliver me from this palace, and everything you could imagine will be yours. And she goes over and spits on Heinrich one last time.
Yeah, I get that. But I've already been promised that, innit? And Mr.
Who could
Confluence
promise
was
you
all-
such things? Please, she now looks nervous.
Yeah, funny name. Listen, love, this ain't really, you know, I'm not down on one fucking knee here. I haven't got a ring neither. That's not important. What I'm saying is, he's a priest. You there, marry us two now, then let's get this whole thing over with.
Oh yeah, sure, boss. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. All right, come
Yeah.
over. And
Let's have a Halwood wedding.
Yeah, he's got like a prayer book that he just like keeps. You know, there's a place for a flask that's cut out. Enough of it's there that you could say a prayer.
Have you written your own vows?
No, I don't. No, I don't have my own vows.
Not starting off on the right foot here, love. I'll be honest.
Well, don't know what to say.
Could have thought about that. Anyway, let's get this whole thing over with. Come on, say the words.
She says the words, and your makeshift priest performs the ceremony there in the hallway, with Heinrich protesting loudly as this ceremony is completed with a good 30 witnesses. You know.
Yeah. Now, get him to sign so it's all legal, and beat him up, and I point at Heinrich, until he signs it.
Yeah, all right, whatever you say. And they start working him over. They take his armor off, they take his sword, and start just working him over in the hallway there until he capitulates.
Yeah. Now seeing that I have a signed wedding record, I am now Jerry Toddbringer, as far as Jerry is concerned. I say, all right, lads. Good job, everyone. I'm now the lord of this castle. Everyone take something that you like. Pick out your rooms and your bunks. I'm going to have the upstairs bit. And her, I point at my new wife, make sure she doesn't fucking leave. If she does, kill her. Doesn't matter too much.
Whatever you say, boss. Whatever you say. Ma'am, please step this way. Welcome to your new home.
See you later, love.
All right.
Right, down to the business of ruling. I find a chair and I sit down in it. I strike up a pose. I light a cigarette.
All right. The sounds of fighting, not even finished, dying down through the palace. All right. Back to the Chaos realms here. So
that is how revolution is done.
All right.
It was genius.
Van and York have faced off against each other. Van just dealt 19 damage with a power axe to York. What does that do for York?
It takes me well past 0.
Yes, I'd imagine so.
Yeah, as a human, that does a lot of damage. I am currently on -8 damage.
All right. I need York or Van. I need you to roll me a D100 here for the crit. So, you guys are fighting. This place has a surreal quality to it, as if the physical properties that you're used to are not quite fixed. The Chaos Prince that you've been walking with now just sort of turns and watches the fight as it happens, and doesn't seem. I don't know, it seems more amused than much of anything at the situation. 18, Van?
18.
All right. So I believe that was an arm hit. How about
27? Yeah.
Yeah, 27. This is just a minor cut. York is bleeding, which is all. York. It's round 2 here. What are you going to do? Van is right there on top of you, seemingly not caring about really much of anything.
I kind of just... I'm going to step back for a second and just kind of try and half smile, but it come out of a grimace, because this is... He cut pretty deep into my arm here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of reach down, click my fingers, and up from the ground are, or whatever we are summoned into life, are gonna be a whole swarm of spiders. So I'm gonna kind of use them to separate between me and him. They're not really targeting him, so I don't think his shit, like, I watched him shrug off the last one.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen. This doesn't have to happen like this. He's waiting for us. They're waiting for us.
It's just like you to pick a course and then flounder halfway there.
I'm just following my instructions. You're headed to somewhere you don't want to go.
I am heading towards my own death. That's exactly where I want to go.
I click my fingers and these spiders kind of all turn and face him at the same time.
Okay.
It's not that simple.
Are these the illusionary spiders?
Yes, they are.
Okay. They have called more, your spell calls more than just spiders, and a growing number of incorporeal spirits begin to sort of gather around the two of you as you do battle. And some of them begin to sort of like manifest. They seem a weird mixture of crustacean and fungus. Many of them have, roping tentacles for limbs as opposed to more jointed jointed limbs, and they all sort of have a sense of arcane power that vibrates between them as they sort of gather to watch this duel. What about these? What about your spiders, York? What do they do?
So they can attack using the standard spider profile. I think I'll do a roll. Do these get the Zinchian bonus?
I think that Zinch has decided not to weigh in favor of either champion at the moment, and to let the contest play out.
So I'm pretty sure that is... I'm just trying to look at the bonus, but I don't think that's actually going to get through.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
so the monstrous spiders.
Yeah, I imagine their legs kind of paw at him, and these tentacles kind of wrap around his legs a little bit, but he doesn't really take any damage. He will take a wound if he's kind of starting his turn. Engage them, which he will do.
Okay. All right. Van has summoned spectral spiders to do battle York has summoned spectral spiders to do battle with Van. Van, it is your turn.
Okay, so these spiders I guess they're trying to force us apart. So Van is going to take a swipe. It's a swipe to get them out of the way with his axe.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but then I'm going to do something fun. So,
yeah, I rolled atrocious for that one.
Okay, so that would be a hit. So we're not getting the plus 50%, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so that would be a hit with the axe. All right, so that's going to be with a hit with 2 degrees of success because I flipped that number since my bolter is my main weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So for the axe, that was 52, so that's 2 degrees of success. So get all that shit out of the way, mostly only to get right up in York's face and basically hold the bolter straight up at his head as I look him straight in the eye and go, "I'm taking you with me." Knowing full well that this weapon has a blast radius, and he pulls the trigger. So that is going to be 3. That's 4 degrees of success. Yeah, that's 4 degrees of success with the bolter. So that's 12 plus the 1's damage because it's penetrating. So that's 17 damage that both he and I take.
Do I get a dodge from this, or is it not going to affect me because I wouldn't be able to dodge out of its range? I'm guessing
there's no dodge for that. All right, 17 damage.
Yep.
To the head.
Yeah.
Let's roll some crits.
Like as you're pulling the trigger, York's going to put his hand up and say, "Wait," and then I imagine it happens.
No. All right, let's get some crits.
I rolled a 9. God damn it.
Oh.
Can I roll Prue's crit?
Yeah, we should.
Wait, do I get a crit? Yeah.
Wait,
why
are
not?
you not
I
dead?
don't know. Did you? How much damage did you take? Are you not dead yet? Are you not at critical wounds yet?
Well, that would have knocked me... 17 would have knocked me to -1. Wait. I have metal armor. It only does... So, 17 would have knocked me to 0.
Yeah, so it's crit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
You took 1 damage at the start of the turn as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, then definitely I've been -1. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. This goes off, and given the proximity and the weapon, these rolls are modified from their original rolls here. Both of your heads snap back as Van fires off this pistol. 31 for that was for Van, or for or sorry, the 9 is for York.
9 is York.
All right. You guys are it's like eating wedding cake for criticals with you guys here. All right. Roll. I don't know where that's fine. I need York to make me an endurance test to remain conscious as he is sort of flies back as he takes the damage, and your head is snapped back, and then for
2 degrees of success for that one.
all right, and for Van, you are sprawling with the lower half of your mouth and face missing, as you're just like beard and teeth and everything has been ripped apart. And you have 2 bleeding conditions.
Okay.
York gets 1 bleeding condition, and you do not pass out into unconsciousness, but you are, your head is ringing, and you can feel you're just like barely keeping it on as you avoided the worst of this concussive blow. How do you guys finish this out as you're just, you will die. You're bleeding.
Yeah.
You want to do anything before that?
I don't know about York, but Van would definitely just get back up like just a fucking machine and walk right back over to him and do the exact same thing.
Okay. Do it again.
Like
he takes the axe and he doesn't hit York with it. He pulls him up by the back of his neck, like towards him, and just gets right in his face with his jaw like bleeding and hanging off, and just be like, "You're fucked, mate," and just like do it again.
Anything York would do between then? You've got 4 stunned conditions, deafened, and 2 bleeding, York. That's what you're at.
I imagine York is kind of like he's fully glassy-eyed, and like he sees this jaw hanging off him, and he's just kind of like, I was just glad I managed to shut you up. And then I imagine he shoots me again.
All right. I'm gonna call that, unless you guys want to roll damage and the whole shebang again. As the demons sort of close in around you, as these 2 freshly minted champions of chaos do battle to the death at the court of the Changer of Ways. Demons close in around and move in to feast on your remains. Back in reality. Tremors rock the palace. I'd like to know how Molly and Mel escape the research facility that is quickly descending into explosions and catastrophic failure.
The
Mel's
2 Mollies. There.
Mel's got a fucked up leg, so she'd need a lot of help, Molly.
So the 2 Mollies take like 1 arm each, and they're gonna glide her towards the nearest exit.
Okay. You'll go
Works for
back the
me.
way you came, or a different one?
If the way we came is clear, probably that way, because we don't know where the other tunnel goes. Would be my suggestion.
It
Unless
seems
Mel
clear.
has better advice.
No, everything's fucked up, Molly. I don't even know what we're doing anymore. Let's just get the fuck out of here.
You don't think we should wait for him then? It looks a bit messy in there.
No, I don't think we should. Let's see if we can
Alright.
find fucking Jerry.
One of the Mollies is gonna pour out her hip flask for her 2 friends. One of them's kind of only an acquaintance, but you know.
Sure.
He gets like half a pour.
Right.
And then go back up to the palace courtyard, I think is how we came in, right?
Yeah, you took a path that led you down through the basements and cellars of the palace, the under palace proper, and then into this research facility. And retracing your steps, you find yourself in the palace courtyard. The sounds of fighting still sort of coming from inside, but not anything determined or large scale. It's really more sounds like someone mopping up in there. You recognize there's a ton of Easties running around here. They all, and as well as some of the militiamen that you recognize from the last drop.
Oi, Dale, what the fuck are you doing here? You seen Jerry?
What the fuck? And he just like fucking flips out as this bird-legged, 3-tentacled, dog-faced, horned creature floats over to him, and like people are fleeing in utter terror from Molly
You know,
they go
That's a bit
screaming.
rude.
sweetheart,
Into the
Thank
maybe,
you, Dale. I'll
maybe
remember this.
I should do some of the talking for a little bit.
Clearly, they don't recognise someone important when they see them. Bougie bastards. You know, I bet they're in on it. They're in on that conspiracy. And Molly too goes, you know what? I think you're right. Damn bougie conspiracy goes all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom. And they just look at each other.
I want Jerry to find them at some point, if that's possible.
Mel's just gonna start limping towards the palace to see what the fuck if there's anything else going on. While Molly argues with herself.
Okay, I have a question. Because Molly has some healing power, I think, still left in her from York's spell. She wants to reach out with a tentacle and, like, push really hard with a warpy will and push the healing into Mel. Here you go. Try this.
Well, that's
Now will it with the warp stone in my body because I absorbed those nice little warp stone daggers.
I see what
different.
I see what you're doing. Yeah, you can pass the regenerate spell over to Mel, which I believe heals a D10 if you're as long as you're above 0 wounds. All right.
Yeah.
Mel goes off in search of Jerry. Jerry, word of some sort of monstrosity reaches you pretty soon.
2 monstrosities
After.
and an elf.
Fucking hell, boys! And we get all our swords and guns, and the militia head out to kill whatever other thing we need to kill. Defend our palace! And I see him. What the fuck are you two?
I don't
Jerry,
Oh, Mel,
there
hello.
you are.
Yeah, look at your tits.
Yeah, there's another set of them too. Look.
Fucking hell, they're coming sets now.
Yeah,
What
she's
the fuck's going on?
weird, fucked up. I love you, dear, but
I'm
I
an
hope your
avatar,
charm's as
Jerry.
good as it used to be.
You're a fucking mess, love.
Aye.
Oh,
That's
thanks, I
nice,
mean-
Mel.
Certain aspects of you look great, but I mean, the rest of you, you're kind of like a bird now, innit?
Only
Bird,
from
wolf,
the knee down.
tentacle.
Or-
I don't know what's happened. What the fuck's going on with you, Jerry? What's happening in the palace?
I killed them. Most of them. And then I made myself legitimate ruler so we can do what the fuck we want to the palace. I'm married.
Okay.
I'm a married man.
Couldn't
What the fuck are
You
the two
know,
of you? Are
Jerry,
you both,
I
are
went
you
to-
both Molly?
Yeah. We went to your
This changes
weddings.
everything.
The first 3 of them, anyway. We gave up after
They,
that.
they weren't really real, except for as far as church or the law is concerned. But other than that, they weren't real ones. So both of you as Molly, you as one Mel. What happened to Van and York?
They went into the chaos gates, really pissed at each other. I
All right,
don't know if they're coming
fair
back.
play. Fair play. That's one way to go.
You got.
Did you all take a deal then with the confluence fella?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe.
I made him an Eastie. He's one of us now, Jerry.
All right, fair play.
Or there's that.
So, well, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to have to do something about you, Moles, because most of everyone here thinks you're fucking weird. Now, I mean, I know
That's
deep
bold.
down, yeah. Oh, look at her tits. What's going on there?
Oh,
That's
nice
a,
guns.
oh, what the fuck's going on there? But there's sets of them. There's only a pair before.
Mel's gonna
Anyway.
pull out her last bottle of wine and just start chugging it.
Fair play,
Well,
Mel.
I
You
guess-
ain't a bird, are you?
Nope. I mean, I got this feather from York. She hands it to Jerry.
Mhm.
I'm still me.
All right. You froze
Well-
the feather.
I guess if we've overthrown the Sigmarites, Jared's now in charge of the city, and we killed all the rats. There's no. I can stop being an avatar now. I've done my job, Ulrich. I'm good now. Ulrich.
Yeah, but if you could
Oh, dear.
stop being that way, that would be great. Because then we wouldn't have to do anything about it. Because problem is, Moles, I'm sort of the lead around here now. and everyone's not quite on that same level what uses on.
I campaigned for you, Jerry. I told him. Hand in this brick.
Oh no.
Well, just stop being a fucking bird.
Wait a little minute, Jerry. Who did you marry?
I know.
I mean, maybe Molly could now be like your enforcers or something. She gets scared the shit out of just about everybody.
I look around. What do you guys think? I mean, it is moles, isn't it?
I mean, boss, she's
Who did he
kinda rough,
marry?
I married that, what's her name?
they seem
Godbringer. Now,
scared shitless of Molly. We found a woman tied up in a
Casanova,
carpet.
her name.
Yeah.
Or Casserole.
She's,
Casserole.
no, catalyst. No.
Nana?
Catatonic.
Katarina. Yeah. Katarina.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's that.
She was in the
bougie
carpet.
bitch.
Well,
I know
yeah.
that name. That's Todd
I
Brenner's
need a
daughter.
legitimate old Molly. That way, when they all come back, they'll be like, oh, he's a new lord, isn't he?
A
What the fuck we
legitimate
want?
old. Sounds it. You're part of the conspiracy too now, Jerry. You're one of them.
Right? No, her name was Katarina.
There's a sound of like 4
not
boob guns
conspiracy.
clicking, locking and loading.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ.
I don't know why your tits just made that sound, but I am intrigued.
You gotta
Okay.
kill her, Jerry. You can't be married to
kill
one of
her?
them.
Well,
Not
I said
be
that
one
killer
of
should
us.
start running away.
Well, I could
Is this
provoke her
how
into
it
running
fucking
away. If
ends?
that's
No.
legitimate, I could provoke her into running away.
Mel's just gonna
Rose.
scream over the top of him. Is this what we're fucking going to? We don't have Van anymore. We don't have that weird little wizard dude. Now the two of you are gonna go over the same shit that started all of this to begin with. Are you fucking
Van
kidding
will
me?
be back. Van always comes back. That's his thing. 10 years in a row he came back.
Well, whether or not that is true, this ain't a university, and you is still some kind of mental abomination. No offense, love. So do you want to stop being so fucking crazy? Because if you can dial down the crazy, then we're fine. But if you can't, love, you're probably going to fuck off somewhere.
I imagine Molly too, who I think is the one with the suspicious mind, like her eye is just
The
like
same thing I told my last
twitching.
3 wives. Dial down the crazy, fuck off somewhere. 2 options. So far, no one's taken that last option.
What is Molly?
Molly.
I
Molly
am divorced
won
3
kind
times, so maybe they did.
Molly 1 kind of is dialing it back and is thinking she could probably deal with bougie bitch later. Molly 2 is really irate and fixated on this conspiracy that Jerry is now a part of, and I think she's gonna fire.
All right.
Fire the 4 gallons. Fucking hell, mate! And I throw someone in front of me. Get her!
Oh my god.
Oh wow, 18 to hit Jerry.
Fucking hell. That's too funny. I was spending that 20 to dodge out of the way and someone else can die to the boobs.
Molly
There's that.
1 turns to Molly 2. Oh no, and he's talking some sense. So we can make this work, Molly. Molly, you're wrong. He's in on it. He's in a conspiracy with the bougies. He's in bed with them.
She's
I've been
fucking
in
lost
bed
it,
with him.
guys.
It's nothing to, say anything about what. Don't bring that up right now. Now is not the time. Mel, what do you think? Yeah, Mel, what do you think?
Oh, you just
Mel's
tried to
just
shoot
gonna-
me with your fucking nipples, love.
Yeah, there's everybody's way on edge. Way on edge.
Now you either
Mel's
put
gonna-
those away, fine as they are, put on a fucking bra or something, love. Jesus Christ. Or
Mel's
things
gonna
start
stand
getting
up.
nasty.
and stand up in between the two of them. If y'all are gonna fight, just kill me too. I'm done.
Oh, Mel.
Fucking hell, Mel.
No need to get dramatic, Mel. We're just having a
I'm
disagreement.
going getting fucking dramatic. You've
Yeah,
got
calm down, Mel. Fucking hell, we had to go there, alright?
A fucking
dark
lord
place, though.
out of nowhere with this brick that does weird shit I've never seen before. Van and
That's a
York
brick.
are gone.
No one liked him anyway.
Well, you know what I think we should do, Joe? I think we should get that new Eastie in. He caused a lot of trouble, and I think he can settle a bit of this business.
Which one's that?
Mr. Conflagellate. What do you call
Oh,
it?
yeah,
the rest of the deal.
That one.
Yeah, boss man. New Gouda.
No, you're the new... You're meant to be new Gouda.
I'm new Gouda, he's the new cheddar.
Oh no. Well, that's what my deal was with them, was to protect all of you assholes and get to you. And apparently, if you're gonna fucking fight, I don't give a shit anymore. So, sure.
Oh,
listen.
no.
You
No,
don't have to
that's
get
alright,
fucking
Mel.
crazy on it. There's no need to do some kind of stupid suicide pact or something. That would be fucking stupid.
Aye, all of this is stupid.
You're right. You know what we all need? We all need a drink down the Wolf's Head. That's where we sort everything out, is the Wolf's Head. You can bring the Carrot Palace if you want, Jerry.
Jerry looks very reluctant.
You know what, Jerry? To show good faith, you can even bring your new wife. We have rules against wives in the Wolf's Head, but you know, exception because today's stressful, and she
I'm gonna
probably
be
needs
honest with
one
you,
too.
Mom. I think you might be fucking mental. Because you just shot me with your tits. And you killed that guy there, and we haven't even addressed that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This guy's
I mean,
dead.
that's fucking Dale right there. I mean,
Yeah. There's several
He was
members
in
of
a
the crew that have their
conspiracy.
weapons pointed at you.
Molly too is still. It was in a conspiracy, Jerry. You're kind of in
Oh.
it too, but we can figure that out.
either you stop being two people who are both birds, which I think is a fucking reasonable thing to ask of someone. I don't think that's too far. Or couple options actually. I should have said that. Either or, we shoot you here, put you out your misery because I mean you've clearly fucking gone too far, or you just fuck off somewhere else. You know, I don't really care. Like Outdoor or some shit where they do weird shit like this.
Molly 2 turns to Molly 1, and Molly 2 tries to back away, and Molly 1 is gonna make a running leap and try and like smash us back together. She's gonna try and turn away from being an avatar and go back to being Molly with the many pockets in her skirt, because she likes that. That was simple, and we've done our job here, so we can stop being super mutants and we can go back to being normal.
Smash. As the two Mollys just like smash into each other and bounce off of each other and land. I need both of them to make me coolness tests to avoid the mental pressure of realizing their current situation as horrific and terrifying chaos beasts.
I probably firing squad them at this point as they leap onto each other.
We've got like muskets and pistols and like
they're just like mashing themselves on each other in a circle of like chaos shit. And I'm like, sorry, Mouse. Nah. And then
So, Molly, do you attempt to escape the firing squad? Otherwise, as you are trying to mash yourself back together.
Molly 2 is going to turn and yell about conspiracy, and Molly 1 is going to use her as like a shield, because Molly 1 has a little bit more sense left, and then she's going to try and bounce out the door, because fuck you, Jerry, there's other cities and other pubs.
that's a fucking lie!
Molly 2 perishes under a hail of musket fire as Jerry's crew peppers her with a fusillade, and Molly leaps off the palace wall. Middenheim, Molly gets a great look of Middenheim as all of the neighborhoods of the city, the Southgate, Grafsmund, Freiburg, just wall-to-wall flames pepper the entire city. You can hear the sounds of battle echoing through the night as Molly takes off into this new modern-day Mordheim that has erupted here in Middenheim. I'll give everybody one last chance to give me a little epilogue, a little what left. Where do we leave our characters as we depart the season? Molly, why don't we start? Why don't we start with you?
Molly will turn back just as she's like disappearing below the top line of the Paris, I guess the Palisade or whatever it is that's up there, and she'll go, Mel, you can come with me if you want. We'll find somewhere where there's no elves, and then you could be the only elf in the city.
You know what? Sure. Mel just starts walking away from Jerry, drinking her bottle
Molly
of wine.
will wait to catch her in her extended arms. That's good, I didn't want to be alone anyway.
Like, she's gonna leap off a suicide and you just float up and catch her like, what was it, Back to the Future?
Molly, this is still really fucking weird. We've got to go see if we can fix you a little bit.
Alright, Mel. As long as you stay with me. I don't want to be alone.
Me neither, darling. Me neither.
And we'll, like, float away through the city.
Disappear into the city. Molly and Mel, a modern-day Gotrek and Felix, but with a elf surgeon student and whatever it is that Molly became.
I guess I'm gonna have a whole new book of anatomy to learn after this.
Gonna have to write that book.
Right?
Mel's Mutant Compendium.
Right.
There you go.
Mindless Middenheim, Part 1.
So are you guys staying in Middenheim then?
No, I imagine we go to that full part of the city where it's just a sheer drop and just float straight over the edge and down into the wilderness.
All right. Yeah, the cliff of size drops straight into the forest. All right. So Mel and Molly escape the city, and you notice then that the calamity is not limited to the city of Middenheim, and many of the villages and outlying hamlets that you pass through on your flight display a similar level of revolutionary fervor and disarray. So where do Molly and Mel end up then?
I think we compulsively go from place to place because Molly can't help but suspect there are bougie conspiracies that must be stopped. And I guess it would be down to Mel to decide. I can't help myself. I just got to spread a bit of chaos everywhere I go. But I think Mel, who probably has some sense, occasionally can talk Molly into some sort of direction away from people most of the time.
Yeah, Mel would probably try to give her some sort of cloak where she's a little less horrifying and trade her her skills for better weapons and wear so they could keep traveling.
Gotcha. Sounds like a true murder hobo adventurer lifestyle.
That's pretty much it.
Excellent.
Murder medic hobo adventure.
Nice.
The new version of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Right. The elven doctor turned murder hobo with her chaos mutant spawn companion. All right. For Jerry Toddbringer, how about an epilogue?
Clever Jerry Toddbringer. Yeah, the brick. Man, I think unknowingly inspired by works of Tolstoy, Chekhov, Dostoevsky, and other various Russian writers. Jerry turns Middenheim into a modern day sort of Stalin-inspired hell for everyone. He becomes fairly paranoid as well about losing his own power, and this sort of body of revolution, which was flamed by the masses, he perverts unknowingly. I mean, he just wants power basically, but he sort of it feeds on that message of, we're against the rich, and Jerry is quite from a poor background, I guess. So yeah, he rules over Middenheim.
It takes a while to get things back on track, I'd imagine.
It's chaos for the most part, but I think eventually there's probably some sort of order. But he's sort of a rebel lord. There's going to be plenty of armies that are going to come and try and kill him. Probably Boris Todbringer as well. He will, I think, as a part of his wife ends up dead as well. Or
pretty much.
Yeah, or worse.
Given. What about the cannibalism?
The cannibalism is probably rife under Jerry, in that he has slaves brought to him or political dissidents sent his way so that he can eat them. Although he would try and keep it sort of private for the most part. I like the idea that maybe the future adventures of Jerry involve like a vampire coming to his court and offering him some more dark power and terrible decisions for him to make. And he will.
Sure.
Yeah, I reach out to Levon Carsteins and I network with them for a bit.
Yeah.
And then I think as one last bit, he will write a letter to a certain witch hunter informing him of a mutant who is traveling out from Middenheim, he sends the only witch hunter that he knows, and he heard of this witch hunter from the asylum and from this girl who escaped. He'll write to them and see what comes of that.
Indeed, as a terror is stalking the highways and byways of this great empire of ours. So. Jerry consolidates his hold over a city that is in a great deal of disorder for many years. He needs a strong hand to guide it out of the chaos as it witnessed the birth of a Tzeentchian Chaos Prince. So, for Van and York, I'm curious here, especially for Van. Number one, what sort of stories around the college do they tell about Van? Is he just up and disappeared? And I'm curious about that for Van.
The stories of Van that crop up, people knew what he was building, and so they find this bear that's like ripped apart, and so I would assume that people would start telling stories of this vigilante dwarf that would protect the city from the chaos that came, and like maybe that's why he never graduated, because he was here to protect us, and it would be all wrong. Like, it'd be one of those things where, just kind of stories of, because most people liked him, except for, one little petty asshole. But yeah, like stories like that would crop up around him.
Jerry definitely sort of treats Van and York as though they were like the Lenins, like the forefathers of our revolution, who are like put up as gods and statues to them, so that he can,
nice.
he can say that he was best friends with these great leaders of the revolution.
So there you go.
Now, the second question I have for Van is that a burning vengeance like that doesn't just disappear. Which one of the weapons does Van's spirit end up kind of inhabiting, and what sort of warrior ends up with it next?
Oh, it's got to be the bolt pistol.
Shooter.
The pew pew, the DACA, and so what warrior ends up with it next? I would assume that being disposed of in the realm of chaos, it would shunt the gun itself across time and space, and arrive somewhere in, say, the 42nd century, maybe, where a certain ship's a gunner on a ship maybe finds it by the name of Kellenon, and yeah. Sorry, I'm just linking that back to another character of mine that has a heavy bolter, or has a bolter, but yeah. And it sometimes the bolter makes noises, and Kellenon is like, You'll look over at it, but it never makes a noise or kind of hums or like you hear a click or like the safety clicks off. Things like that, where it always wants to be shot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Damn machine spirit acting up. All right, York. What sort of?
Can I throw forward an idea?
Yeah.
So
go for
I
it.
imagine like as that trigger is pulled the second time, there's a massive explosion, and like all of these spiders and chaos like demons all like are blown up into the air, and it goes out, but then is sucked back in, and all of these things are all mashed together in writhing tentacles, spiders' legs, and at the very heart is one part Van, one part York, as we combine into a chaos spawn that is like massively self-destructive, but whenever like Tzeentch decides to unleash it on a city or a town, it's so intent at tearing itself apart that it destroyed swathes and armies, and it's constantly fighting an inner battle as well as like wrecking any populace around it.
So we become Demogorgon.
Something like
Something like
but
that.
like it's two things trying to destroy itself in one creature.
Or is that the thing that takes down Marienburg that we had as like semi-canonic?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that
the
was
thing
like
that
a
woke
break
up and came from the sea.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
ancient god, yeah.
Yes. Something did destroy Marienburg. Yeah. Well, I do like that. The ancient evil that was that's eventually awoken when Nora dies.
Nora dies.
Yes. Excellent. Yes.
Bye,
I think
fucking Nora. Don't let her die.
Don't ever die. Never let her die. All right. So as we part from our dear heroes here, our brave and stalwart and true heroes, Middenheim is in utter disarray. The outlying regions of it, reverberations of revolution. It's a tongue twister there. Rock the surrounding communities, and the Empire seems to be on the brink of another time of troubles as we part and say adieu to this fair city and our heroes. There we go.
Bye, Middenheim. We fucked you.
There, we didn't even pay for it either.
Oh, round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, please. Oh.
All right. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Well,
so funny
well.
going from such extreme Sigmar fans to them being like Ulrich, who destroys Sigmar's temple in Middenheim and just destroying the place.
Yeah.
That was fun. That escalated quickly.
Escalated quickly. Yes, it did.
When I was away, everything just went up and shit. Oh man.
And continued when you
I continued,
returned.
yeah. If anything, I made it worse. Yeah. Holy moly. Well, that's the end to season 2 of Warhammer. A great conspiracy, my friends. If you guys enjoyed it, if you did, let us know what your favorite bit was. I mean, we actually have like 10-15 minutes to kill here before
We got some
Star
time,
Trek
yeah.
comes on. So we could do a little bit of Q&A. I guess if you guys have any questions, fire them at us, and we'll do our best to answer rather. And maybe we can chat a little bit about some of the ideas and cool thoughts we had on the season and for the next one as well. Oh man, that was fun. That was a completely different tone to the first season.
Oh yeah.
Which was
Oh yeah.
equally dark in many ways, but like it got
Different,
really
yeah.
dark. That one.
Yeah, it was. I feel like Beneath Dark Vows was one of those where there's some witches, but everybody else is just creepy and weird, and not necessarily like guilty. And then this was like, man, everybody was just like guilty. Like it was just like a whole thing. So it was different feel. Yeah, I'm glad we were able to do something special there at the end, though.
Definitely.
How do you reload boob cannons?
Okay, so the way
Molly?
they work is he inhales warpstone, and the warpstone forms to release these chaos warp bullets. There's just like a memory gland function. It just produces when needed. But I have
It's
to
not
have
like
the
a pump
wall
action
side.
shotgun. So yeah.
There's
So
no.
just like
I
real
mean,
life.
you could try it, but I wouldn't recommend it.
That is definitely how it works.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. There was any ideas for next season? We've been throwing around a bunch of ideas for what we might do for election. I think we all felt like we. I don't know. For me, I was like, maybe it was the system didn't drive so well of us. I think that was a big sort of turn off for me. Was I really wanted to like Warhammer 4th, but I just felt so at home in the second edition of the game, and we had obviously Cherry who was new to it, and I feel like 4E was super complex to learn without having any Warhammer knowledge beforehand. Which I felt like,
and it's like we have a VTT, but it doesn't. We're still like there's still not a mod for specifically for 4th edition Warhammer. So there's a lot of things that like Fantasy Grounds like took off our plates when we're running 2nd edition that we just kind of have to work through, and it just bogs things down. Yeah.
Also, 2nd edition combat, because we were still playing we played real combat heavy in our first season.
Oh yeah.
And
I
we had a lot
really
of
liked that
characters going
actually.
on. But the combat worked really well, and we never had a whiffing problem, although we were playing at a slightly higher level, which I think helped counteract the chance of whiffing. But I feel 4E tried to, other than Rat, but I feel 4E tried to solve a problem, but they actually made a problem in their solution. In that
it wasn't
really hard to
intuitive,
track
at
the
least.
advantage and
Not at all.
Yeah, I didn't fall in love with it, but yeah, so I really liked about the 2nd edition was just the combat felt like it was really tense, and something about combat in 4th, it doesn't have that high stakes.
And I really missed the Ulrich's Fury as well. That was really fun in the first season, the Ulrich's Fury going off.
The chance to get just like a wildly damaging attack was really fun. I think for me, it's like I'd like to play 4th edition at a table, like where you can have a really slow pace kind of thing, and sit with a rule book. I still don't have a rule book, so it's just the PDF that.
I think the VTT was a big disconnect. But
in terms of another season, I mean, I like to build on the events that were from before. I think sort of a using this sort of societal chaos as a way to play some different kind of Warhammer games that are out there. Like, I don't know if you guys listen to the Mud and Blood podcast, but they're friends of this show and Vaganova frequents the chat occasionally. They had a recent episode where they're talking about like different Warhammer games you could run in the world, and it's just like this world is so rich and interesting. Like, why we can do so many things other than like the standard crawling around and fighting chaos cultists. We could do a lot of things. So yeah, that's where my thoughts are.
I like the idea that each season we sort of hit another vignette on what's going on in the old world. Sort of get that really classic first season, and then we've got a slightly more bombastic side of Warhammer, which is the gangsters in New York, Middenheim, and then go somewhere else.
I loved the crossovers, and I loved the feeling that things that happened in the first season had an effect in this world, and they were still here. Just as I feel things that happened this season are going to have an effect in what happens in the future.
In the next one.
Yeah, I would love a like high society campaign. We talked about the sort of nobles turning to chaos and cultists would be cool. Or like I think Pruitt mentioned like orcs would also be pretty
orc boys.
Brutal, yeah. Savage orc band. That'd be dope.
Yeah,
and dark elves. Cool. Yeah, dark elves are fucking dope as well.
And then I could see a game where you play like what if you played a game that was set during the founding of the Empire? You played just these brawny barbarians following around this Sigmar guy, and it's the orcs all over the place, and dwarven frontiers. I don't know. There's a lot of cool things that could happen, but I like building on what's coming forward as well.
I appreciate that this season, once more, all of Pruitt's characters are dead. That our underdog became such a beacon within the community, i.e. York/Rat, and kind of ultimately failed in his own way in his own quest. And then we've got Will's characters who end up taking over the land, no matter who they are. And it's been really cool to have to have Cherry come and play with us, and it was nice to have a doctor on board.
Yeah.
It was. Yes, it was.
And
I
someone
know
saying,
not everybody's like keen to play healer, but I felt like that would be a good way to learn some of the system.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
That's why
Oh, dude,
I
yeah.
slowly started stabbing things eventually.
Yeah, I didn't envy you at all, and I think
Yeah.
that's what, like, as we're talking about all this fucking amazing lore and stuff like that, I think that's my biggest issue with 4E, is it just feels like some of the rules get in the way of this amazing flavor, and we're having to disconnect from the like amazing roleplay and the amazing things that go on just to make these numbers work, or just to that I think that's my biggest problem. Where it was like certainly 2E, it was learning it for me, but it seemed to fit fairly well. Like combat was lethal. Like anytime like you roll badly or your time's up, you can lose a fucking arm, and it feels like there's just a lot more built onto that doesn't potentially need to be there. But again, that's me. I'm a massive role player rather than kind of a character, like a character builder, and that's the thing. Building a character is really, really hard. It's a lot of work.
I was looking at the other day. I got my book in somewhere around here, and it's fairly heavy. I found myself actually not wanting to do things, so I didn't have to make skill checks and figure out the numbers, which is like counterintuitive to what you want in a role-playing game. Do you know what I mean?
I
It
did
is,
enjoy. Sorry.
Go ahead, Charlie.
I did enjoy, like, last season I explored insanity. This season, I basically messaged Jim. I was like, what if we start actually doing the mutations? Because we got all this stuff in the game, in the book. You got all these tables and things. Like, well, can we just play with that? And then Jim messaged me about, can you please roll 5 more mutations for Molly before we start the session? I'm like, yes.
I was using the mutation tables from Slaves to Darkness, which is a first edition book that details Khorne and Slaanesh, and they're just, it's a D1000 table, so there's a lot of fun stuff on it. I think there's a similar one in Tome of Corruption that's another D1000 table, but
Just
I like
another
using
idea
these,
for a
Right.
campaign. You know, there's this Bretonnians, and they're just like Knights of the Grail, and then like Knights of the Grail meets vampires. Oh, love that. That'd be dope.
Ooh, I'd be
That
down.
sounds
Really
fun.
Because there's like I remember because my dad used to play the Bretonnians, and there's this bit in the book, and there's like this one faction of them who are basically all vampires, but they're like honorable vampires, and they don't want to. They don't want to have fallen to tyranny. So yeah, that'd be dope. Or dark elf politics, we're all stabbing each other on the back.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the dark elf stuff is fun.
It'd be a lot of fun.
What if
Sorry.
we're Bretonian vampires who one of our order has broken off and has now gotten in with this new graph and is changing him? And so we have to go save Mark. We have to go save Jerry'sburg or whatever it is.
When Jerry is the quest
Jerry
NPC.
I would
Jerry's
fucking
grand.
pay money to see Jim play
Middenheim.
Jerry. I would love it. Yeah, just a whole day as Jim Jim as Jerry. That would be amazing.
Deeply
I'm down.
enjoyable, very liberating. I have to say. But
There's a lot of
I'd like
possibilities.
the tone, I think, to go back to the darkness, because I felt like we did the silliness as like a breather from the heaviness, and you just need like a break. But I feel like we probably could have banged it out in 3 episodes or even a one shot of just messing around, and then sort of gone back on with the heavy shit, which was
Which is fun.
cool beat. Yeah. So we'll see where we go with system as well, I guess.
Yeah, who knows?
For next time around.
All right.
Treasure
Yeah.
hunt in the land of the dead.
We can do a treasure hunt. We'll threaten to run the Doomstones campaign. That's the turn Warhammer into D&D dungeon crawl that they've got. Although I do think a Warhammer themed blood and guts dungeon crawl could be really fun, where it's just sort of like you're just hard Scrabble mercenaries trying to clear a dwarf hold or something.
And that's kind of what last season was. We had so much fucking killing shit. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Like Empire Sellswords would be a really fun story to follow.
Oh yeah, I
I
could.
think
Yeah,
like
we could.
rogue wardens and soldiers.
Yeah, there's a lot of really
Some Captain Alatriste shit, man.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's
Which
what
I
we said.
like.
Like, what I love about it is all the possibilities of the old world. So yeah, there we go. Just like the idea of
Definitely.
Warhammer Egypt. There's that Lure of the Lich Lord, which was a 2nd edition module that's kind of like that. You go and sort of raid this mummy's tomb
right.
or something like that.
Yeah, the free companies, yeah. Man, so much cool shit in Warhammer. So little time. So we'll figure something out for the new year. So what we feel like getting up to. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, and it actually had more depth than I think we realized. Like with that last scene with Van and York was like,
Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
So
I
That was
sincerely
great.
hope somebody clipped all that.
that was great.
Oh, yeah,
no,
there
that was perfect.
There's clips. Yeah.
So it
I
was
watched
like
just
that.
the start of it. Look how squinty I get when I'm angry. Like, I'm incredibly squinty. You never see yourself angry. And my eyes were set in Pruitt's eyes, and I was staring. But no, I look, very, very weird.
You
It
were
was
very
so sad.
intimidating.
Mhm.
It's I try, like, the thing is, York is not a fucking nice person at all. He's not really like. It's really hard to see anything good about him at all. So it's a bit weird to play. Like, I just tried to be as selfish and as self-serving and as big an asshole as possible. Whereas like Rat had, like, whenever you feel insecure and you're not sure, or when you're looking up to someone, and like I could channel that from somewhere. But just being an utter twat, I like to think I don't know too much about that. Like, we've all been selfish, and I just try to
Give me some
dial
lessons.
that up to 10. Yeah. Yeah, I just basically channeled Will. York is Will.
Wow.
I see it now.
Yeah,
I felt like I really liked him this whole time. Yeah.
seems like a nice guy.
He resonated with me.
Yeah, I would have done that. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy makes a lot of sense.
It was funny as well in this one. Once more, we're playing terrible people doing what they think is the right thing. It's a completely different morality involved and a completely different ethical point of view. Even though we're still terrible
Definitely.
people trying to do the right thing, still in that gray zone. It's just a different end of the gray zone.
Yeah, I could definitely see
That's
that.
what I really like about Warhammer.
Well, we were like the extreme fucking left this time around, whereas the witch hunters are really on the far end of the right. But it's pretty much it comes back to the same point of basically just kill anyone that doesn't look like you, and and then rule over them for as long as you can. It's a lesson to be learned here. No. Anything else we wanted to chat about this season here before we head off?
I just want to say I'm super grateful to Jim fucking Davis-son for running this campaign. It's been a challenge. We've been challenging people and challenging players, and you've done a killer job. Just did last season.
Thank you very much. It was a ride for sure. it was a good time.
I appreciate how much I got to swear this season.
Yes.
And make up words.
And make up words. That was what I was about to say.
That was. That's what I'm saying. We need a shirt that says "Vis-a-vis Revolution" instead of "Viva la Revolution."
And also thank you to chat who have been on this ride and
Chaos
telling
Chorus.
us what might excite us. Yeah, Chaos Chorus.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah, be chaos there in chat. Fantastic. Well, let's go around the cast and crew and just do our last sort of sign-ups where we can find you guys online, that kind of thing. So Jim.
Yes. Wow. All right. Yes, I am Jim Davis, co-host of WebDM. You can find us on YouTube, where we've got Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop RPG advice and inspiration videos, as well as on Twitch on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday nights, including we're back this Wednesday with Invisible Sun here in 30 minutes or so. In addition, WebDM is doing a charity stream event starting on the 15th and running through, I believe, Christmas Eve. So come check us out. Keep an eye on those things. We're raising money for Trans Lifeline and one other charity that if I was a better person, I would have remembered by now. And so, yeah, there you go. So come and check us out. There's lots of games being played. Maybe you're in one of them. Maybe you'd like to just see some people have a nice time for charity. So come and check those out. Yep.
Oh yeah, awesome. And Charlie, same questions for you.
Oh, well, this has been an incredible season. I hope Warhammer Wednesdays continue because it really is a highlight of my week. Every week that we get to play, no matter whether it's Grimdark, Beneath Our Boughs, or Grimdark, Conspiracies in Middenheim. Wait, what was it called? The Great Conspiracy. There we go.
Great Conspiracy.
It's a highlight. I love being here. I love playing with these people. They're incredibly talented bunch. Go and check them out and support them. I am back on Friday on Encounter Roleplay at 5 p.m. EST, looking at Mage Hand Press's Dark Matter with the lovely Pruitt. We're actually rolling up this week. So bring your D6s because it is D&D in space, which what's not to love. Yeah, and I hope to be back here in the new year. Well, send me a message.
Alrighty. And let's see, let's slide into Pruitt's DMs. Pruitt.
Oh, well, yes, I love that. Yeah, like Jim said, we're WebDM. Come check us out on YouTube. This has been an absolute delight playing here with you beautiful people on Warhammer. I can't wait to see what the future holds and see what the new year holds. If we get a fun Christmas present for next year. So y'all take it easy. Love you.
Fantastic. And Jerry.
It has been a blast trying to learn the ropes and play along with you guys, and thank you for being so kind on that. I'll be around on the Twitch on and off for the rest of the year, moving across the country and stuff. So still doing the GTA, and a lot of Star Citizen is becoming pretty big on the role players. So I'll be derping around in space a lot too. So come stop by.
Awesome. And well, that's all we've got time for tonight here on A Great Conspiracy. So, thank you. all right, Gareth. You can...
This is just a shout out to Sydney, who Will still hasn't proposed to.